Well, I know. Stop saying Ronbo. Stop saying you got to get it earlier and get it earlier. This is it. Boy, I tell you what. Early tomorrow, okay? Today's subject matter, Niner, because the guy's already in camp today. When John Lynch says we're not letting anything out of this building or this facility, he means it. Not a word about what happened in camp today. But they were out on the field today working out. Nothing. And I looked everywhere. So if you did see somebody that couldn't find, please, Twitter, Instagram, someone come and tell me where to go. But today we'll look at Niners, the guys with most to prove. Plenty of players currently on the Niners roster have a lot to prove. But for a few, the level to be reached is pretty high. Tonight, we'll be taking your phone calls regarding the players that are under the biggest, big spotlight to establish dominance in the 2021 season. By the way, you know what? Hey, Jamie, man, this is right up what we've been talking. Jamie and I have been talking about wide receivers for the 49ers for days and days and months. According to Emmy and NABJ award winner and host of Unidentified, Josina Anderson tweeted today, Dede Westbrook, ACL is expected to be fully cleared to participate in football activities by the 8th-month mark, per source. He incurred the injury October 25th last season. Had surgery in November. There's been preliminary communication between Westbrook and the 49ers not too long ago as well. Does Dede Westbrook, is that an improvement over what we have in the slot? I mean, you consider Travis Benjamin. Of course, Richie James is in the mix. I don't know if Jalen Hurd's going to come in and be in the mix. We got a lot of people. Is Dede better? The 49ers may think so. We'll find out more about that. But I'd love to hear your opinion on that as well. But let's get into this now. The Niners are in an interesting position heading into the season. On one hand, they're hitting the reset button at quarterback after drafting for Trey Lance. On the other hand, they're expected to have a healthy and playoff caliber roster. Enough of this nonsense of everybody going down in a heap. Let's go. Niners season will be about the future while also carrying championship aspirations. It's the bottom line. We are not going to bite the dirt this year. And caught in the middle will be several players looking to prove themselves for both the short and long terms. They'll need to help the Niners compete this season while also playing for the possible post-Jimmy G era. In fact, let's examine some of the main players that have the most to prove this season, starting with that guy, Jimmy Garoppolo. Now, it would appear that JG is no longer the quarterback of the future, but John Lynch has left the door partially open on that matter, and you remember what he said last week. First, the 49ers are not so foolish as to just assume anything. Trey's going to have to come and take that job. No matter what, however, JG will be on the roster this season. Kyle Shanahan said on May 5th per ESPN's Nick Wagner, quote, I expect Jimmy to be here, and I'd be surprised if he wasn't, unquote. And JG will first have to fend off, though, Lance in a possible QB competition. Assuming he keeps a starting job, JG may only be playing for his NFL future. He is set to carry a cap hit of $27 million in 2022, but only $1.4 million of that is guaranteed. That means that the Niners can move on from JG next offseason with minimal financial impact, which is always a plus on every franchise in the league. JG has shown plenty of stretches of brilliance, no matter what anybody says, passing for nearly 4,000 yards with 3,978. You figure Jimmy had one drop or two drops, and he's over 4,000 yards in that 2019 season. 27 touchdowns and 13 INTs in 2019. But his biggest issue is having missed 23 games because of injury over the past 3 seasons. If Jimmy G is going to earn another starting opportunity, he'll need to prove he can stay healthy and play at an above average, and I mean way above average level this season. Ideally, he could do both, which would benefit his future while also positively impacting the Niners' playoff outlook and stop pissing people off. Moving on to Mike McGlinchey. There's another guy. Put the spotlight on him. Put the spotlight on Mike. Here's the reason. This offseason, the Niners locked up Trent Williams with a new 6-year, $138.6 million deal. He isn't going anywhere. The future of Mike McGlinchey is a little less clear. Big Mike has been relatively reliable in his first 3 seasons. He has missed only 4 games and played 100% of the offensive snaps in both 2018 and 2020. However, he hasn't been an elite tackle and was responsible for 5 penalties and 5 sacks allowed this past season. And that, according to PFF, they don't miss a thing. They run everything through with a fine-tooth comb. If they said Mike did it, he did it. The Niners exercised a 5th-year option on Mike's contract this offseason, meaning he should be around for at least the next 2 years. If Mike hopes to stick around beyond 2022, however, he'll need to be better than he was at 20. Come on, Mike. Good God. Well, at least Mike's out there gaining weight. He's looking a little bigger. He's looking a little more ferocious. He's looking a little more burly. He may be ready for the 2021. We'll see. The reality is this, that the Niners aren't going to invest a ton of money into an average tackle while also paying the big bucks to Williams. That's all there is to it. Williams is set to carry a cap hit of over $26 million in 2023. Mike, if he cannot prove that he is a franchise caliber right tackle, the Niners will likely begin working on a replacement plan, one that's cheaper and can be found in the draft. But fact is, it may be easier to find a guard than it is a tackle. Second-round pick this year, Aaron Banks spent some time at tackle at Notre Dame. You and I both know at Notre Dame, they don't raise nothing but. I say that? I can't say that, can I? If they raise nothing but the prime cream of the crop tackles out of college, what's wrong with Mike McGlinchey? Listen, one thing about Mike McGlinchey, though, a lot of people focus on the few mistakes he makes during the course of a season. Now, he's going to make a few mistakes. He did. But Mike McGlinchey, when it comes to road grading, there's nobody better than the guy we got on the other side of the field. So you have to keep that in mind, especially with Kyle's run-heavy offense. So is Mike McGlinchey all that bad? Maybe too much is said about that. Maybe the few mistakes he made are overemphasized and maybe blown completely out of proportion. Mike McGlinchey's probably going to weather this storm. If I had to bet, I'd bet he would. Kyle likes him and said so last year. We'll see. Your opinion on that, though, we'll take it. Also, Javon Kinlaw, last season, the Niners traded away DeForest Buckner to help replace him. They used the 14th overall pick in the draft on Carolina's Javon Kinlaw. Unfortunately, Kinlaw was not the same sort of impact defender as Buckner is, but the Niners asking too much to begin with for a rookie. Kinlaw appeared in 14 games as a rookie and amassed 33 tackles. However, he only produced 1.5 sacks and 10 quarterback pressures. To be fair, Kinlaw didn't have the benefit of playing alongside Nick Bosa, who missed the majority of the season with that torn ACL. That makes a big difference. With Bosa demanding attention, and I mean demanding too. Oh, does Bosa demand attention? Coming off that edge like he's lost his mind, Kinlaw might have had more opportunities to disrupt plays from the interior in 2021 if Nick's there. Still, there's no getting around the fact the Niners need to see more from Mrs. Kinlaw's baby boy. Otherwise, Javon could eventually find himself in danger of going the Solomon T route. Oh! Solomon was the 3rd overall pick in the 2017 draft, which means he came under huge pressure to perform, but failed to regularly influence plays and only lasted 4 seasons with the Niners before departing for Vegas. And it wasn't on a full fun-filled holiday trip either. He's over there putting on the silver and black. Good luck to Solomon T. Fam, who do you see of just these 3, and anybody else you want to add to the mix tonight, who do you see succeeding versus failing? Kinlaw, McGlinchey, Garoppolo. Anybody else you may look at it and see if they on what should be poop or get off the pot year. Oh, God. Hey, Ray Jr., what's up, Ray? What's up? I can't wait to season start. Let's go Niners. And Matty S checking in from Bend, Oregon. What's up, Matty? Oh, man, I can tell you, man, it's going to be an interesting season, isn't it? Some of these guys are putting under a lot of pressure. I look for all three of these guys I just mentioned to perform like monsters. Why? Just because they got pride and all of them got that kind of competitive spirit you know is going to rise. It's starting off with Chill, Pill, Phil. Phil, come on in, man.
Yeah, I thought I was calling in late, and I'm number one. So
Don't spotlight that. I'm embarrassed. It's late. But Phil, go ahead.
Ronbo, the only thing they have to prove is to stay healthy.
That's much.
It.
Yeah.
And it's not just Jimmy.
I know.
Kittle was injured. Raheem was injured. Loret's got to stay healthy. I mean, the whole team needs to prove they can stay healthy. And I think that's the biggest thing. If they stay healthy, it's in the bag.
Ain't it? I mean, ain't it?
You know? And the other thing about McGlinchey, he was ranked 14th of all the tackles in PFF. He had a 58 ranking in pass protection, but he had a 91 ranking
Moving down the
in
road.
run block.
Yes, indeed.
And there would be 30 teams. If we cut McGlinchey yesterday, there would be 30 teams lining up today trying to sign the guy.
The gospel truth.
So people need to understand McGlinchey's not a bad tackle. The problem is keep seeing the other guy on the other side who is the best tackle in PFF in both pass blocking and run blocking.
And you can't make that
Trent
comparison.
Williams, you can't. I mean, Trent Williams is a one of a kind.
He's a freak.
And that's why the Niners went out and got him signed. Because if they didn't sign him,
He'd be in
we would
Kansas
have been
City.
in trouble.
Yep. Oh, God, yes.
So, the biggest thing they got to prove is just stay healthy. They stay healthy, we'll be fine. And as for our number 3 receiver, think Julio.
Somebody said now it's out of the question. The 49ers are not going. We don't have a first-round pick. Phil, you know what I really enjoyed?
Nobody's going to give him
a first-round pick. So we're as good as anybody else with a second-round pick, right? You know what I got to kick out of though? If you visit social media, I don't know. I was laughing because 49ers are going on and on about how Julio's old, he's injured, he's lost a step. They're going on and on. Some guy all of a sudden, I'm reading the comments, also 49ers don't hate and don't stop with all these excuses. Y'all know damn well you want Julio.
I know.
I said, you know 49er fans, don't you?
There's only 4 teams that could afford Julio right now, and the Niners are one of them. And, you got the Patriots, I believe there was the Colts. But the problem with the Colts is they don't have a first or a second round next year because it's locked up with the Wentz trade. So depending on how many games Wentz plays, Indy's got to give up a first if he plays a lot. If he doesn't play a lot, they got to give up a second. Well, they can't trade either one of those picks because they're tied up in the Wentz trade. And the Patriots
how about
would be
Baltimore?
one of the teams.
Although, can you imagine? Julio would probably
Baltimore
say, "Look,
doesn't have enough cap space.
Yeah,
They're like $8 million.
Yeah, Julio would probably ask not to do that.
People need to realize that there's only a few teams with the draft capital, and Atlanta's not going to want players because they're trying to dump cap. They don't want players in return to build up cap and and just get rid of one problem and
add
grab another.
I realized that yesterday.
So, and there's only a few teams that I think we're competing with, and that would be the Patriots. Who was the other team that was up there?
The Chargers?
Chargers. That's another one. They've got cap space, and I don't know if they need Julio Jones. We could use him.
Yeah.
But, there's only a few teams. So, all this talk about the Packers, not a chance. They have no chance. Their cap space is so bad that there's no way they can make that room.
And they got enough
this
trouble over
late
there
in the
with
evening.
Aaron without trying to work
Yeah.
with Atlanta.
So anyway, I'm thinking we have a good chance at him. I think, Texas boy says Julio doesn't want to play for the 49ers. Really?
Well, he definitely doesn't want to play for Dallas.
Cowboys.
Somebody tried to put Dallas
He
in the
already
mix.
said that on
He
TV.
called.
He said that on TV today.
Right, he called
doesn't want to
Shannon.
play for Dallas.
He called Shannon and said, "I'm out of here." And Shannon told him, "You don't want to go to Dallas." Take that, Texas boy. You don't want to go to Dallas. Ain't gonna be no winning in Dallas.
Yeah, I think he would love to come to the 49ers and play with Kyle, play for Kyle.
Even he would make that
Yeah,
choice.
that
If given a choice between Dallas and San Francisco, it would be no hesitation. Ain't nothing going on in Dallas.
No-brainer. No-brainer.
Yeah.
So anyway, Ronbo, I think our biggest challenge is staying healthy. We stay healthy, we'll be fine.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that would have been the case last year, Phil. Good grief, this has got to stop.
I know.
So,
But
anyway.
we got Trey Lance, and we've got a rookie quarterback that we're going to go forward with. And next year, we're going to free up a lot of cap because Jimmy will probably be gone. And if he plays well, we'll get some draft capital back in return, and everything will be perfect.
Hopefully, peaches and cream.
So, exactly. We'll be eating cheesecake.
Yeah, don't say cheesecake. It's another weakness of mine. Pizza and then cheesecake. Jesus. Woo! God, I can eat a whole cheesecake by myself. I don't care how big it is. It can be Costco size. Oh! Don't even start talking about food.
If you come to a 49er game and go to Blue Lot 1, I'll know what's on the menu. Pizza and cheesecake.
Oh, Lord, I'll smell it from wherever I am. Oh, God.
All right, Ronbo, I'll let you go.
All right, Phil. Great talking to you as usual. I love the way you always bring calmness to every situation. All right. Talk to you tomorrow, fam. We're going to see what goes on in the workout. All right.
Okay. Later.
All right. Later.
Bye.
Yeah, Texas boy falls back with, man, how like we need Julio. Texas boy, y'all need more than Julio. You'll be honest about it. You need to get rid of Jerry Jones as your GM. You'll always be a joke until Jones stops. Hey, Casey.
Hey, Ronbo, man, you got me following Chill Pill Phil tonight, man. I'm honored, man.
Yeah. Phil is so cool. Hey, but
Yeah,
you know
man.
what? Look at it, and he's right. There are lots of guys on this roster that better be trying to prove something.
Ronbo, can we talk about Phil for a second, though? I feel like Phil was playing offensive line or tight end back in the day. I feel like Phil was really in the trenches with Lombardi and John Madden on the Packers or something, man. That's what I think of when I hear
He's one of my
Phil.
favorite guys. Go ahead. What do you
Yeah,
want to say
man.
about Phil?
Oh, I just wanted to say that's what I think of Phil is just old school, rub some dirt on it and get back on the field, man. I love listening to Phil.
If it's bleeding, wrap some bandages on it and stop dropping that stuff on the field. Let's go. You know? Yeah. So, yeah. But Casey, man, and I if we get injured this year, I don't know if the fan base can handle it. This would be like,
Oh, I can't handle it, man.
yeah, I can't. Wow.
They got to get their home win streak going too. They were 1-7 at home last year.
Yeah.
So just stay healthy and win at home, and score the points and win the games. I think the schedule this year is going to be really fun, and I really actually like that one addition and the removal of the preseason game. And I think the schedules from here on are going to be a lot better because we've been seeing the Seahawks at the end of the year for the last two out of the last 3 years or
Either
something
them or
like
the
that.
Rams.
Now we got a little bit more of a mixture of the teams and stuff. I mean, there's probably no way like it could be as bad as last year, right? I mean,
See, honestly, Casey, we escaped 2019. We had a lot of people. Fortunately, we kept key personnel, but guys were dropping in 2019 too. They came back though. That's the only difference. They may have went out for a week or so and came back.
True.
So yeah, but every year
it's
we
crazy
escaped.
to think that at one point that year they didn't have George and Nick.
Yeah. And Joe Staley and Mike McGlinchey, all those guys were out.
Oh yeah,
we got
that's right. Wow.
George up in the stands looking through the glass box. I call it the glass box of hell because when you see that glass box of,
I'm sorry, go on.
Listen, when you see that glass box upstairs, the camera, the crews are always zooming in on who's up in the glass box. And the box was just filled up with all kind of 49er stars. That's, oh, man, this is just awful. You know? That Green Bay game was hard.
Yeah, no, oh, man, what was I just going to say, Ronbo? Oh, man.
Have to do with injuries?
I'm smoking too many of my over-the-counter medications tonight.
Casey, you live in the Seattle area, don't you? Actually, you could get plenty of over-the-counter medications in the Bay Area too.
I don't live anywhere near Seattle, Ronbo. I live in Reno right now.
Oh, okay.
San Jose.
Oh, yeah. God. So anyway, you know, that's one of us is from Seattle. I thought that was you. Okay. Anyway, yeah, that's. You recall the thought?
You know what I think too is I think they're say what?
No, I thought you were trying to recollect the thought you lost. Did you catch it now? You got it?
Because you know what? I think I always get it like a split-second delay with you. That's why like we're always interrupting each other.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, it's all good. But yeah, you know, I think Ayuk has their best chance of really taking over. And I think they really need that to happen. You know, because they need to get a double-digit touchdown scoring receiver on their team, and they need to do it quick.
I agree.
Because they can't keep floating around with George getting 5 touchdowns a year, Debo getting 4 or 5 a year. I mean, that's kind of the plan of the team is they spread the ball around, right? But they do really need someone to, you know, be that red zone threat and take the top off the defense.
Yeah.
And I really hope it's Ayuk.
You need one dominant. I agree. You need one dominant receiver, and which we've never had since Kyle Shanahan's arrived.
Yeah. I want to see something with Jalen Hurd. Isn't he in practice this week or minicamp or something this week? Or
I hope to hear something tomorrow. It's quiet. If anybody sees any information on Jalen Hurd, please enlighten me. I hope so, Casey. Damn it.
He must have had a really bad back injury because I know he hurt his back in a game in college and like played the rest of the game or something. So. I mean, they must be. They must have just extreme faith in him and want to really wait it out. I mean, that's kind of how they've been like that with a lot of players. They've been like that with Trent, with Jimmy, Jimmy Ward, and you know, like I think about what needs to happen this year, and I just go back to the first time I called you, Ronbo, and I said Jimmy just has to ball out, and you know, hopefully he does that, and you know, they get to the playoffs and get another run going.
Well, and you know, versus Tampa Bay, which I assume is going to win the East, man, you know, that Jimmy's, oh God, he'll be fired up. You know about a pump. This is the guy that kept me seeing for the entire time I was in Boston, and now my day of retribution.
I really don't know what to think about Tampa Bay. I really don't, because you know, if you look at their playoff run last year, they faced the Redskins. And then when they played the Saints, Drew Brees had 11 broken ribs. And then they played Green Bay. Green Bay just decided to take the day off. So, I mean, that wasn't really like a real run to me. And it's kind of just like a, you know, that last year was just all preseason, Ronbo. It was the longest preseason ever.
But I'm looking at a man for man. That roster is a frigging all-star team. They don't have anybody that's not Pro Bowl caliber.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And, I mean, it's weird because Brady's playing like insane, so it's tough for me to judge like what really happened. But if you look at what really happened, they played the Washington football team, and then Drew Brees with 11 broken ribs. So it's really tough for me to judge what really like, you know, like last year it just doesn't. I don't even care about last year.
And the Falcons were like, I don't know what was going on with the Falcons. They had the arsenal to actually stop the Patriots. But you know what you need with the Patriots is you need to be able to stop them. Brady's got endless amounts of weaponry. That's the problem. Casey, let's get into this tomorrow and see who is going to do what in camp. I expect some fun reports. Keep an eye on Greg Cohn. I'm promoting Greg Cohn because Greg Cohn is the mean truth.
Stop it, Ronbo. You play too much, Ronbo. It's the Grant Cohn show featuring the San Francisco 49ers. That's what I'm just not a fan of, Ronbo. I'm sorry. All right, Ronbo.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Get the starter jacket ready. Let's get some good juju for this year, man. Get the starter jacket ready, Ronbo.
Looking forward.
All right, man.
All right, fam. Have a great night. Hey, and here is 49ers Ultimate Report. John, come on in, man.
Ronbo.
John, tonight I'm thinking about, I expect all the three guys I mentioned to really kick ass. And you talk about the critics getting up off of him. All three of those guys. Javon Kinlaw, I don't know about his mindset. He's that guy who always comes into every press conference and says, yep, well, I didn't do nothing. I ain't nothing. And John Kinlaw, that thing he did against the Rams, he still says he's done nothing. Well, Javon, when you do get ready to come to work and get something you're proud of, I can't wait. So, Kinlaw may be the guy because the fact he replaced DeForest Buckner is why the pressure's on him, right? Otherwise, I've already picked him, though, as my dark horse player, possible comeback player. Wait, you can't call a rookie. I do suspect he's going to get honored. Top 5, top 6, because the guy's got all kind of athleticism. In fact, I don't want anybody to get mad at me, but his athleticism may be above Buckner's. When you see him flying across the camera like he did a few times in midair with both feet off the ground, and that pick off, that dude can be taken seriously. We'll see. But what are you thinking?
I agree with you when it comes to Kinlaw. He didn't have an off season last year, and when he did that interception against Jared Goff, it really shows you, what he can be against good teams. Like the Rams at the time were a playoff team, and we beat them. We did not have a full good squad, and I think Kinlaw, with Bosa just on just in the line, will basically force the offensive line to just account for Bosa, and I think that the inside, like the D tackles are going to get more one-on-ones, and whoever's on the other side, it's gonna be a very scary just having Bosa there. So I do think that if you put Armstead where he's supposed to be, Kinlaw, Bosa, and maybe Ibukam. Just imagine those four guys, scaring, those offensive lines of other teams.
It's incredible speed.
And then I saw a picture of Kinlaw. That dude is huge, like the big, body. Just imagine what he can do. Just imagine what he can do if he has the off-season training camp. Just imagine what he can do if he works out, gets, the reps he needs. What can he do?
I can't wait. In his second year, too, and he's going to get a real preseason this year, unlike last year. So some things get pointed out for him. There's no telling what he's going to be capable of. I agree.
And then I wanted to ask you something, Ronbo, because apparently you're a huge Jimmy G guy. But I was on listening to a YouTube channel, and one of Grant's boys, he said something which pissed me off, and now he's making me want Jimmy Garoppolo to be my quarterback, because he says that he wouldn't mind having a $27.5 million backup quarterback. And when he said that, that pissed me off. Like I want Trey Lance to play, but if it basically saying that your quarterback is going to be the highest paid backup, put Garoppolo in. I don't care about the issues that he has playing the game. I just don't want a highly expensive, and that pissed me off. So because of that dude, and that's the reason why I give Grant a hard time. They say a lot of dumb things, and that pissed me off. So now I'm on your team. I'm a Garoppolo guy.
Hey, remember, Grant lost money on Jimmy in the Super Bowl. He's been pissed off ever since. He bet on the 49ers to win, and he knew they were going to win, and they didn't, and he's been blaming Jimmy about that ever since, like a lot of people do. People brought that all down to one play and spotlighted Jimmy G as being the whole reason they lost. But I tell you what, Jimmy G's a huge competitor, and just like I've said about other players that the masses have jumped on in the past, if I say before the season starts, look out for this guy, you're going too far with that. He's going to be. There's been about 4 guys. I called it. Jimmy G could be the number one of all the guys I've called. Look out for that dude this year. Look out. He knows that offense very well. They say the magic year with Shanahan's offense is that second year. This is it. Here he comes.
Yep. So hopefully Jimmy Garoppolo can prove everybody wrong. Because like the thing that I want Jimmy is to be on the field, play his butt off, maybe go to the playoffs, NFC Championship game, maybe Super Bowl. We'll see, because then we can get at least some of the compensation back, from the draft picks for Trey Lance. Because at the end of the day, I look at Jimmy Garoppolo as a stock. If he does well, that stock does well. That team does well, it's good for us. So at the end of the day, and I know I sound kind of messed up because some of Grant's, fans, they get a little bit, hurt their feelings when I bring up his inaccuracy. But at the end of the day, I was always on the fence with Jimmy Garoppolo. He made me a Jimmy, so I'm now on your team now. I'm with Phil and those other cool guys who like Jimmy Garoppolo, because at the end of the day, see what happens when a guy who has a brain, who tries to simplify everything on my channel to, give, the reports. But when someone said something about Jimmy Garoppolo, man, I'm like, if I was making $27.5 million, I wouldn't mind being on the bench. But then people would get pissed off at me. Hey, you go to work, you do your job. So I say, hey, Jimmy, get on that field, earn that money.
That's an embarrassment. You can't sit on the bench and you're earning that much money. And they won't have it anyway. They'll get rid of you. But yeah, now Jimmy G, all right, if he stays healthy, look out. He's got solid receivers. Everybody knows what they're doing. They can play fast. There's no question about movements out there. Look out. This is it. I'm calling it. All right. Hey, 49ers Ultimate Report, click him up. He's got his own channel and content. He's now on the Ronbo Jimmy G team. Oh! All right. Boy, John, let's see tomorrow. We're going to find out some reports out of camp and see who's shining. All right?
Yeah, and just like always, like, comment, subscribe. Just like your boy Ellis, we got to get you, more subscribers, man. You are really good at what you do. You let the fans come in, even the guys who don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. It's an honor, me calling and everybody. So, and then also for all the haters like Rudy, hey, give all your money to Ronbo, because guess what? Your Rams are going to be trashed. And thank you for putting my name on your tag anyway. Just like Norm, Niners all day.
Have a great night, John. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
You too, man.
All right. Yes, indeed. And the haters actually make for entertainment. If you like to beat up on haters, that's why we keep the door open for them. Come on in. And they come in, and they usually leave with their tail between their legs anyway, except for Joseph Smiley and Tommy Testosterone and, a few others. But otherwise, hey, Brittany, Texas boy.
Hey, Ronbo.
Brittany, it's funny. As 49er fans, we usually keep in our mouth all the time names like Texas boy and Tommy Testosterone and Joseph Smiley and Seahawks. The thing is, we know all their names. We shouldn't. Isn't that special? Clowns. They do make impact because they're annoying. Anyway, Brittany,
Right.
I'm looking at the guys that got a spotlight and got a lot to prove this year. Do you see them succeeding or failing? I'm talking Jimmy. I'm talking Mike McGlinchey. I'm talking Javon. These guys, we got a lot of players that need to keep themselves in position to look good because we got a lot of one-year contracts. Klosky T comes to names. We got lots. But who do you see succeeding and failing?
As usual, I got to agree with Phil, what he said first time around. The whole team in general just got to stay healthy. I think that's just the biggest challenge. Whole team stay healthy, good to go. But in terms of you saying who do you see failing or succeeding, I see all three of them succeeding. Like last year was a downer.
Yeah.
It was just a complete downer. But I see all of them coming back and just showing people that they're not here to just goof off. They're here to be serious. And it's as soon as you don't see them smiling or just standing there silent,
you know they're serious.
Serious. Yeah. It's serious.
Even
Kinlaw,
Kendrick,
I really do. Yes.
it would be not smiling this year. I could see it if he was still with us. There's no laughing this year. We got embarrassed last year.
No laughing.
Yes.
Honestly, Kinlaw, I'm excited to see what he's going to do his second year. It was hard last year to not see like a bright moment just because he didn't there was so much pressure that he gave that but also not having Nick Bosa at the side of him, it was just even harder. So, but definitely we're going to see a bigger year from him. That interception from the Rams game is just a little glimmer of what is going to come this season. So I'm excited about that.
Yes.
McGlinchey, on the other hand, it's going to be a lot, but I think he's going to bounce back. And don't get me started on Jimmy. This boy's got fire under his butt, so you know he's going to come out the gate.
Yeah, he's actually seriously being tested for a change instead of having CJ and Nick over there. But now he still seems very confident. Anytime you call a kid immediately after he gets drafted and welcome him to the team, you are not intimidated.
Right.
Jimmy knows what it takes to grasp and actually function in Shanahan's offense. I think that's the most part. No matter how smart you are, it doesn't matter. You are going to struggle in the beginning with Shanahan's offense. And I think Jimmy knows that.
Of course.
So.
Yeah, he knows that. We've seen it twice for week 2, like both week 1 games. We've seen it twice. He won one, he lost one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing new. But I think this year, something in his mind is pretty much going to change. I definitely think we're going to see a different Jimmy this year for 2020. Not 2020, 2021. We're going to see a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Ignore what I just said.
I'm convinced of that too, because the whole team collectively, guys. We took a year off. It wasn't our fault, maybe, but we definitely can make it better this year. Let's do this. So, yeah, I see this.
We'll never know, but I think everybody just has something to prove. Even the guys who are on 1-year deals, everybody has something to prove, because now they're being stared at as like the best to get back to the Super Bowl. But the biggest question is, can they all stay healthy? But the only person that they're questioning is, can they stay healthy, is Jimmy, because now Trey is right behind him. So, and I don't want him to be rushed in.
Yeah, good point too. Nobody else has any premier person. You look at everybody else. Mostert's one of a kind. There's a unicorn in every unit. There's no such thing as another George Kittle. And that's why these guys, if they get injured, they'll get up and you just pray they hurry up and get back. Jimmy, he coughs, sneezes once. His job could be on the line.
Right.
So,
right. I don't understand that. But definitely all the pieces are there. So you're going to see something different in him. So I just know one thing. When he doesn't smile, you know it's serious.
Yeah,
so
G's another one likes to smile a lot. True. That's true. But usually it's after something good happened. We've seen him grimace a lot, too. You know what? When Jimmy gets mad, the reason players like him so much, when it's somebody else's fault, I don't think he confronts them. You'll see him grimace. He'll walk off the field. His eyes are almost closed. His mouth jaw looks a little tight. He'll walk back to the sideline. But unlike Tom Brady and other guys, Aaron Rodgers, he'll never confront the player that just screwed up. Perfect shot, hit him in the numbers, he dropped the ball. That was a first down. And damn it.
It's like I can see the emotion in his face. Like whenever something doesn't go the way they planned it, you see him literally pissed off. If they're going back on the sidelines, the offense, snatching his helmet off, you see how pissed he is. I was like, oh, I can tell he's pissed. You see him snatching it off. I'm like,
but his guys love him because he doesn't embarrass them on the field. He may say something around to him later, what you could have done better. But he's the ultimate team sport guy or team player. Hey, Brett, let me see you on Twitter and talk to you later.
Talk to you later. I just hope Jimmy makes Grant Cohn pee his pants.
I can't wait either. Night. Good
night, Ronbo.
Night. Lord Cal Refrigeration HVAC says Jimmy G, top 12 NFL quarterback. If Bosa, D Ford are healthy, we win big. Oh, that's I keep forgetting about D Ford. I said, does D Ford have anything to prove this year? My leg, nope. My calf, my leg, my calf, and my neck. D, damn, Eric, come on in, man.
What's up, Ronbo?
Eric, man, we're looking at the guys who have a lot to prove tonight, and there's probably some names we should have added to it. Eric, first thing I want to ask, though, are we a little too hard on Mike McGlinchey? You know, you can count the mistakes he makes in a year. I get the feeling we overemphasize every mistake he makes. Do we?
Yeah, we do. We're a little too hard on him. He's one of the best run blocking right tackles in the league. I mean, we're mostly a run first team, so I mean, he should be good most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
The times we're passing, it's most likely because the defense already knows it's going to be a pass.
Yep.
If anything, he struggled because we struggled. You know.
Yeah, good point. Good point. So, Javon Kinlaw, have we got something here? Is Javon Kinlaw, who showed a lot of, apparently he's fully committed, he came back in looking more grizzly than he did last year. And Eric, quite frankly, the guy looked scary last year. Now he looks like something else.
He does.
Woo!
Yeah, he looks huge.
Big. And
Yeah, I think we got something there. He looks really good. He just has to prove it on the field. I mean, the last thing we want is another Solomon Thomas. But no, he looks good to me. I mean, he was his rookie year. We have to give him at least another year.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
because we're real impatient as a fan base. You're right. We call players bust. They were calling Javon Kinlaw. Eric, I saw people calling Javon Kinlaw a bust 3 weeks into the season. I'm saying, oh, come on, man. What?
Right. Yeah, I know.
Jesus.
I saw a whole bunch of people after Diamador's interception when he locked down the receiver, and everyone was blaming Trey Lance. They're like, "Oh, Trey Lance already throwing picks at practice." Like,
See, it doesn't take us for
one lag.
And that wasn't even a serious practice.
I know. Exactly.
God.
Freaking ridiculous.
So I look.
But no, I think I think Kinlaw's going to be fine. As far as for Jimmy, I mean, he's not only proving himself to the Niners, but he has to prove himself to other teams.
Yeah.
If he wants to keep going in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to have to prove himself.
That's a lot of
He's
motivation.
playing for his job, basically, playing for his career.
Because you know what's really funny, and it's a very the odds are huge. But can you see JG, the 49ers, win the Super Bowl? Do you know how complicated and the things are going to be in Santa Clara? You're going to have Jed sitting in front office. Listen, guys, before you make any moves, get back to me. And then the rest of the league, you got about 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams. Hey, we'll take them off your hands right now. Not only 2 first-round picks, we'll give you this and this. What do you say? And the pressure coming from other teams wanting to fill the 49ers with assets that they lost last year. That is going to be difficult. Meanwhile, you're going to have a contingent of 49er fans. He just won the Super Bowl. We're going to get rid of him now? He's ready to play. You know? And it's going to get really funny. I'm going to sit back and just watch. I'm not going to say a word if that happens because I'm not taking sides. I'm going to see just how that works out. It's going to be full-on entertainment.
Yeah, you're probably right, but I think the majority of the Niner fans are probably gonna say what they said 2 years ago, that it wasn't Jimmy. It wasn't Jimmy that took him to the Super Bowl or won them the Super Bowl.
If that be the case,
it's gonna be the same thing. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be the same thing.
But if Jimmy passes over 4,000 yards, let's say he has like 30 TDs. TD ratio goes down. Now you're looking at a quarterback that's actually only played 3 full years because he's with Tom Brady the whole time. He wasn't playing. So you're looking at pretty much a glorified rookie that came to San Francisco that's just now getting on his boots. If that be the case, there will be those who say Jimmy G's development has just now come to where it probably should be given the amount of time he's been on the field. There's going to be a lot of conversation going back and forth, but next summer is going to be more comical than the last 3 summers combined with Jimmy Garoppolo. I can already see this coming. Because every year, the top of the conversation was, Tom Brady wants to come. We need to trade him for this. He sucks. This and that goes on and on. See, that would ruin a lot of things. But we'll see what happens with that, though.
Yeah, you're probably right. I want to talk about Grant Cohen real quick.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Everybody does.
Apparently, I think I don't know if this is real or not, but apparently on Twitter he said that he would trade Julio for Debo straight up.
Uh-oh. See, Grant, that's what I like about Grant. Grant's got balls of steel. Who would say something like that, especially everybody knows who you are? I bet his Twitter is getting blown up. I
don't know why he says shit like that.
He's a shock jock. Grant is the answer to shock jocking in sports. He says things and knows he's going to draw. It's like a lightning rod. Now you're going to get the critics. Grant, Debo's how old? And you're looking at Julio, who's 32. Grant would eloquently come back with an answer. You ever been to Grant Cohn's his page where all his text and everything? You should see people talk about Grant like he's that kid at school everybody beats up and takes his lunch money, right? They just talk to him like a dog. I've never said anything bad to him on his forum, but I watch others. The hate is deep. Well, why do you come to his forum? He pisses you off that much.
I mean,
it works.
We're talking about how the 49ers need to prove something, and Grant Cohn needs to prove he's a Niners fan. I mean, Jesus.
We got Eric. We're out of time. So much fun. Grant's. We should have a show on Grant alone. Maybe we'll get him on here. We'll talk. We'll talk tomorrow.
All right. Later, Ronbo.
I didn't even know he said that. Thanks, Eric. Grant said straight Debo. Straight up. I didn't even hear about that one. Nah.
Ronbo, what's going on, brother?
Man, Grant's becoming a source of it. I'm starting to become a huge Grant Cohn fan. Why? Because Grant, the dude will say anything and don't give a damn if you don't like it. Rudy Moosey said, Debo missed 9 games last year. Okay. You know what? You can touch upon that too. First of all, though, that is a topic of conversation. But the 3 guys I mentioned, as far as hey Jasmine, the 3 guys I just mentioned as being failures or success. What do you see that's coming out? And would you trade? This is going to be a topic. Would you trade Debo straight up for Julio?
To be honest with you, as far as Debo goes, I mean, yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I like him. I love what he brings to the table. But you're going to tell me I'm getting a future Hall of Fame receiver who's fully healthy and doesn't want to be in Atlanta?
How many more years?
Yeah, I'm with that.
How many more years do you think he'll last?
He's got at least 3 years. At least a good 3.
Huh?
As long as he stays fully healthy.
Damn.
So you got to think about it. Like if you got to give up someone, you give him Debo, and I can understand that. Now, I'm not saying I want to get rid of Debo. That is not my sentiment by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just answering the question. If they say, hey, we're going to give up Debo, then, that's it, yeah. Because you'll have, Julio Jones, you'll have Brandon Ayuk, and,
didn't matter
you can figure out the number 3 position.
Yeah.
Because you still
your favorite
got
guy, Jalen Hurd, could show up.
If he shows up. I mean, you know how I feel about him. Now, who are these 3 guys that you had mentioned?
Yeah, I said these guys are under heavy scrutiny this year. Jimmy G leads the pack. There's Michael McGlinchey, and then Javon Kinlaw, my favorite imitation that you do.
So I'll say that Jimmy is under scrutiny, but that's only because he can't stay healthy. He's not under scrutiny because of his play, just because he's never on the field.
True.
So I get it. As far as Mike McGlinchey, Mike McGlinchey's only issue is that he doesn't pass pro. If he could pass pro, then he would have no problems. He'd be the perfect right tackle. But he sucks at it.
Mm-hmm.
He's a great run protector. We
Number
all
2
know
in
this.
the league. Right?
That's all it is. That's all it is. But the other thing, as far as Kinlaw just kind of got to come out of his shell. And I'm going to say this because I think this is true. With the faithful being back in the building, I think it's gonna help him and a lot of these guys that didn't experience that understand the added energy that comes along with that. And I think that honestly it will, help him to be better. It'll help everybody to be better. Then plus having Nick there. So you got to remember, when you have the right people on the line, it creates problems, along the line for the offensive line that they're facing. So you've got, okay, I'm going to go ahead and face, Javon Kinlaw and stop him. Oh, well, here comes Nick. Oh, well, here comes Eric. If healthy, here comes D. Well, here's this young kid, Samson. Like, all of these things come into play. So Kinlaw, I think he'll break out. And Jimmy, he's got to have a fire lit under his stomach for them going up and getting a quarterback. As much as he, understood it and they were transparent with him about it, I still got to light a fire under your ass and say, hey, man, they really looking to get rid of me. This is crap. I'm not looking to get, like, you know what I've done? Like, no. But McGlinchey, I hope he's just been working on his pass, bro. His size was never really an issue. It was just his pass protection. It sucked. And you could see that he was having a hard time handling blitzes. So,
Well, it's going to be interesting to see. And you look at all of that. I thought we probably got carried away sometimes. Every time McGlinchey made a mistake, it was like amplified 20-fold. But, that didn't happen on the other side of the line. McGlinchey's got a hard standard to keep up with in Williams.
Yeah, very hard, man.
Ooh,
but I think, to be honest with you, it's the number one thing that's going to happen is basically we're going to go into the season. We'll see what happens. We'll see what works. And I think we're actually going to have a really good season. I honestly feel like we get at least a good 11 to 13 wins.
Yeah.
At a minute.
I agree. Yeah. And given the schedule, there's no reason not to. But like Kyle says, man, y'all need to stop looking at that schedule, man. Teams don't always come in looking like the schedule. He's right, too.
Oh yeah, man. We're gonna have. I want it to be a situation where some guys get back on the field. I want to see Jalen Hurd and Juwan Jennings get in there and be in the mix for that number 3 position. Because honestly, outside of those two dudes, everybody else is a toss-up. We don't know. So I'd love to see those dudes get in there, and I'm anxious to watch that cornerback battle in camp, too. It's going to be beautiful.
Lenore's already my favorite.
Yeah.
Let me see you tomorrow, fam, after we hear from Grant and everybody else about what happened during camp.
All right, man. You have a good evening,
Gang
Ronbo.
Podcast, the number 9 Nerd Gang Podcast. Check out D. All right, D. Have a good night, fam.
All right.
Oh, God. And, hey, Steven.
Hey, Ronbo, how you doing?
Steven, doing great, man. As we get closer to the season, man, this is a fun time of the year because it's while we're speculating and anticipating, and the weather's getting warmer. It's almost time to go full time in your shorts and sandals. It's fun time because when the season starts, all of a sudden your stomach's all in a knot every Saturday night going into Sunday, and during the course of the game, you're doing things like, "Oh Jesus, what the Jesus, ref! What the hell are you looking at?" The stress levels go up 90 miles an hour, So this is good.
No, we all anticipated Ronbo.
I know. Hey, 3 guys I mentioned. There's lots of guys with 1-year contracts too that definitely are on the audition this year. But between Jimmy, Mike McGlinchey, and Javon Kinlaw, some writers are putting them as being especially underneath the spotlight. What are you thinking about those guys? Who's going to succeed? Are there any failures that you see between those 3? And anybody else you want to mention too? Oh, also, the grand fun question of the day is, would you trade Julio straight up for Debo? Grant would.
You want my honest answer about that question?
Go ahead.
Because I was there for that one. My answer to that is hell no. You know why? Because Julio Jones is going to want too much cap space for his pocket. We don't have that kind of financial stability like that. We need everything we can to squeeze just to keep all of our players in the near future, especially since we have to pay Fred Warner.
Yeah.
We don't have the room for Julio Jones financially. It'd be cool to have him, don't get me wrong, but the man is a veteran wide receiver with a star-studded Pro Bowl backing. That man is insane.
Probably Hall of
He's the
Famer.
sole reason why we lost.
Yeah.
Like the last time we played against Atlanta, he's the reason why we lost. He's the
On that
sole
1 yard
reason
line. Exactly.
Yeah. But that's where I disagree with Grant Cohn. I see the one thing I do see, though, is our breakout player of the year is going to be our wide receiver, River Craycraft. A lot of people underlook him, but when he does get receptions, he actually does pretty damn well. He's a guy who came from Philly and ended up on our practice squad and just kind of grew on Kyle Shanahan. The man can route people easily now. The man has changed.
I like
overall.
that. I like that. I like that prediction. That catch. And by the way, Stephen, I am still mad, and everybody corrects me. He dropped the ball. The ball was caught. He went to the ground, and it was already a touchdown. I don't understand why that wasn't called a touchdown. But anyway,
Because it's what the referees do. They did the exact same thing to what was his name? Dude from the Cowboys. I think not Ezekiel Elliott.
oh yeah.
The other guy.
The guy that's over in Baltimore right now, Dez, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Was it a catch? I mean, yeah, if you have a brain, but was it a catch in the referee's eyes? No.
Was
that's exactly what they did
Was
to
he in
River
the
Craycraft.
end zone when that happened, though? Was Dez in the end zone, or was he like an inch away from the end zone?
He was an inch away, but he extended out, so he technically in the books he was in, but the referees ruled it out.
Yeah. I thought Craycraft had maintained possession long enough, but that's either here nor there. The 49ers Kyle likes him, and if he can run routes, Kyle's going to like him even more, and I think that's what he does. So he makes this team this year, Stephen?
Oh yeah, he made it this year. He made it this year. Him, Trey Lance, and I believe Brandon Ayuk are all working under
out?
the same spelling performance. Yeah, they're all working out, all of them together.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you something, Ronbo. The 49ers are back, and they are literally bigger than ever. They're stronger. They look more, poised and ready for a Super Bowl run.
Mm-hmm.
Injuries don't even look like a thing on their mind. Jimmy G, he looks like he's ready to actually take the brace off. I'm hoping he does.
It's a funny thing about
that
it.
shows how
People
confident
keep saying Jimmy G's out of shape. I saw him in a photo the other day. Said, looks bigger than to me. I don't see any fat there. What are people talking about? He's not serious about his body. Looks pretty serious there to me. But we'll see.
I thought he was too skinny. Too skinny, to be honest.
He looked a little bigger to me than he did last year when he left. Maybe because he hadn't played all year and he's withering. But, yeah, I don't understand why. Oh, he's out of shape? Well, maybe.
I will say this, though. I have a feeling this is who's going to do really bad. And a lot of people kind of already foresee it. A lot of people are on his team, on his side.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one person I believe that's going to do bad, and that's Jalen Hurd.
Man, Jalen, I feel bad for him. He's all that talent, and he can't get out preseason.
Uh-huh. It's sad because, I had high hopes for him. I was like,
Everybody did.
I'm Team Jalen, but if we're looking at, possibilities and, looking at it in a logistical way, Jalen Hurd is the weakest link out of everybody. And that it puts him behind McGlinchey. That puts him behind Scully. That puts him behind McKivitz. That puts him behind a lot of people. So it's like he's the lowest hanging fruit on the tree right now.
Yeah.
But overall, like I said, River Craycraft, watch out for him because he's going to pop off this season, and I'm excited to see how he does.
I'll be delighted.
The man can do it. I believe him.
Running out of the slot. He's got that body that's perfect for running out of the slot, too. Oh, I tell you, especially if you can run route.
Mm-hmm. He even looks like he can be a fullback. If Kyle Juszczyk gets hurt, he looks like he can run the spot. He's got the same build.
Craycraft?
And,
I thought he's a little slimmer there.
Oh, man.
We'll see.
He,
I want him to be a receiver. Anybody that's quick and can run routes, I want him run go out for the pass, get some separation. This is the thing that I've been crying about for years. Give me a premier wide receiver. You don't need to be a premier receiver. Just be able to run routes. So when that ball's put where it's supposed to be, you're throwing you open. Can you please get open? Or so I can throw you open. You got to be a step ahead of the defender at least. So
I guarantee you, Ronbo, we're going to see a lot of a dual threat with Brandon Ayuk and River Craycraft this season.
All right. There you go. Stephen called it. All right, Stephen. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see the reports out of camp. Have a good night.
All right. You too, man.
All right, fam. In 90 by nature, you can say that all you want to. The photos I see, you are so,
Got to go.
wrong.
It's learning for me too. So that don't.
Hey, Robert.
Hey, Ronbo. You right though. Hey,
Robert, come
good
on in, man.
afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Work.
Early evening.
Yeah, I'm at work. I just stepped out. I gotta have my talks with you. I missed you the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but you've been busy, huh?
Yeah. I work this rotating shift. It's 2 weeks mornings and 2 weeks nights, so I have time to talk when I'm at night. Yeah, it keep me going.
That must make your sleep schedule kind of crazy. 2 weeks. Well, you're doing all right, though. All right.
Yes,
Robert,
sir.
we're looking at the QB situation tonight. Not QB situation, but the players that have a lot to prove this year. Jimmy G, of course, he's always number one on that list. Now you got Mike McGlinchey.
Oh, yeah.
Reporters are throwing Mike McGlinchey in on the list, too. I'm not sure if Mike McGlinchey's a good thing on that list. Mike's only got a couple of issues. But Mike, one of the best run tackles in the league, number 2, in fact. And then you got Javon Kinlaw. And Kinlaw, the pressure's on him because he got traded in as DeForest Buckner went out. So a lot is expected of him. I'm hoping the kid can take the pressure, actually, and just be Javon Kinlaw. Came back into camp looking like some kind of a monster, so he's ready to go. Do you see any one of those 3 guys failing this year?
No, not really. It looked like Mike can put a little bit more weight on. I saw some pictures today.
Neck's got huge.
I heard. With Mike, I heard somebody say it wasn't his size. It was a caller a couple minutes ago was like it wasn't his size. It was his pass blocking.
Yeah.
Well, size has to do with pass blocking. If you understand the game of football, what he does in pass blocking is to stand up and block. If you ain't got no bricks in your pocket, you ain't out there to take that man running into you. So, run blocking is more about your speed and power. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he's always been a good run blocker. But him losing his size hurt him being a pass blocker. So hopefully we get better in that area. When it comes to Kinlaw, I'm going to say it like this. This is the best scenario I can give. Say you start a job, and on your first day, you're not given a tour, orientation.
Yeah.
You're given a work assignment and told to go to work.
Yeah.
How many of us going to succeed? Not many.
Yeah.
So, like last year, when it comes to Kinlaw, should be a stretch. Like, we shouldn't even look at last year's play. You know what I'm saying? We should commend the man for trying. Like, before the season, when he came to the 49ers, he was going to get one-on-ones in the middle, and all he had to do was beat his man. That's not what happened.
They start double-teaming Javon midway through the season. Yeah.
Right. So, let's give this man a little time to adjust. He went through trial by fire, and he came out on the other side of it. I expect nothing but the best from him. Jimmy's going to play good because of the situation. Like, Jimmy's put under pressure, so he's going to play good this season. But is that really a good thing? Let's
for the
really
team.
Analyze this.
Hey, go ahead.
But for Jimmy, next move and for the team, is he going to be looked at as the guy that, well, the only way we're going to get something out of Jimmy is if we bring somebody else that could possibly take his job, and we can cause cap hell by having a competition with somebody. Like you should be self-motivated. And that's the thing about Jimmy. Jimmy doesn't have the it factor. I love Jimmy Garoppolo, but it's something about his game. He doesn't have that it factor. He's a great system quarterback. He can get the job done. But when all the chips on the table, and it takes that mind frame to say,
can you be Aaron Rodgers? Can you be Tom Brady?
Yeah,
can you be Russell Wilson?
That's the difference between it. Right. He doesn't have ice in his veins. He just doesn't. He's a good guy, nice guy, and we're hoping that, you know, the nice guy mentality, you got to kind of shake off sometimes. You got to be an asshole sometimes. You know, we
Aaron
come to
Rodgers
win.
is holding a clinic on that in Green Bay.
Right. Right now, he's holding a clinic. And take heed. Like, that's what champions do. They're not always the nicest people in the world. You know, so.
And not out. Yeah, you're right. Most are outspoken and will not hesitate to make comments. Jimmy never says a word.
No. He's good at what he does, but he's kind of passive. And
even when others are screwing up around him, he doesn't have much to say. That's true.
You weren't gonna do that playing with Kobe. You're not gonna do that playing with Michael Jordan. You're not gonna do that with Tom Brady. Yeah. You're not gonna do that on the field. You know,
Aaron Rodgers doesn't put up with it either. Yeah, he'll point people out.
They're not gonna put up with that. Right. That's what a leader is. That's what makes it your team. But he's not that guy. So
I'm trying to think
eventually,
of a guy.
regardless of the fact.
No, I was just gonna say I'm trying to think of a guy that wasn't hard on his guys for making them look bad. That was successful. I mean, you're right. I've never heard of anybody that wasn't a B on the sidelines that got everything.
Look at the stories about Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan,
like you
not
mentioned,
a nice guy.
Kobe, you know,
even
Shaquille O'Neal.
Even LeBron James.
Oh, yeah, especially LeBron.
You'll find yourself all the way out the NBA.
Hey,
you'll find yourself working at Walmart playing with LeBron.
But you know what? The San Antonio Spurs, Tim, he never.
Okay.
He's
the outlier. You know, there's always one. There's an outlier in everything. Tim, but I never looked at Tim as that was Tim's team. Like, because of those facts. I never looked at it like this is Tim's team. Even when he was the best player on the team, it was never Tim's team.
Yeah, the Spurs
I don't know if anybody
were
want to
special.
dispute that, but
no, the Spurs were special.
They were different.
He had the Argentinian guard, and also, they were an equal opportunity, but Tim was just the dude. You know, everybody watched.
Yeah, he was just the dude.
So you got to be that. In most cases, though. It's good. That's a good point, Robert. Robert, we're out of time, though. Good stuff. We got to go.
I just want to say one more thing, and I'm gonna go.
Okay, real quick.
Grant Cohen and that Grant Cohen situation with Debo. If we traded Debo for Julio, we would have the same situation. We'd still be looking for a number 3 receiver.
Yeah. Robert's
are you talking about?
Hitting home runs today, boy. We'd still be looking for that 3rd receiver. That's right. All right, Rob. Hey, get it in tomorrow if you get time.
Love to the Empire, baby.
Hey, Ham, you're on fire.
And Phil, keep us calm. Y'all have a great night.
You too, Robert. Night, fam. That's right. We'd still need a 3rd receiver. Ready music. Said, hey, now, Robert, Debo's a dog and my favorite 49er. Want that boy a Niner his whole career. Realizing how many games he was injured, Niners gotta stay healthy. We're stacked. I know. How many teams have the kind of talents we have loaded on a roster to have them all go down? I just can't get over that last year. That was remarkable. The league has to be thanking their lucky stars on that one. There he is. Oh, TNT's latest member. Put the spotlight on. Forget about it. It's Niner Mike. Mike, get in there, man.
Oh, forget about it. Oh, my goodness. I thought we turned a leaf, but apparently we got to go back and visit Jimmy. I can't stay off my hurt knee. Gee, what's going on, Ronbo?
Well, he's not the only guy. Mike McGlinchey's in this mix. Javon Kinlaw. Kinlaw, not so much because he's just a kid, and he had a bad thing going last year.
Listen, forget about it. You know, Ronbo, I don't want to cut you off, but listen here. I've been listening to you all night long. Cry me a friggin' river. Oh, my God, with your Saturday night
specials and, oh, it's not Jimmy G's fault and he's just, a victim and, get the hell out of here. Forget about it. I'm tired of hearing it.
Straighten it out. Get to the point. Get to the point.
The point is, they was looking for a new friggin' quarterback the year after we went to the Super Bowl, all right? And the last time I checked, he wasn't hurt in that game, okay? He wasn't hurt in the playoffs when Kyle Shanahan had to limit him to 9 friggin' passes in the divisional round. He wasn't hurt when we had a freaking run in the entire NFC Championship game. I know because I was there. And we had to watch them basically avoid putting the ball in Jimmy G's hands. And he wasn't hurt through any of that. So all he is, with your injury reports and all your bullshit, forget about it. Deal with it. Only reason why he's there is because of a no friggin' trade clause, and we're on the hook for $27 friggin' million. That's the only reason why. All right? So all he is, put your little cream puffs away and get out your tissues and bat your eyes, all right, and forget about it. I don't want to hear no more about it, all right? When the wheels fall off, it's going to fall off, and it's Trey Lance's team, and that's it. And all of you can just stop it. Just friggin' stop it. I'm so tired of hearing it, Ronbo. I really, really am. George Kittle was hurt last year, too. Yeah, but was he hurt the year before that? Or the year before that? Or how many other friggin' times has George Kittle really been hurt?
To answer your question, to answer that question, yes.
No, Ronbo, listen, when I say hurt, I'm not talking about missing a game here or there. That happens in the NFL.
George didn't miss a game here and there.
I'm talking about hurt, Ronbo. I'm talking about hurt. I'm talking about you get sent out on the field to play, and after that day is over with, the diagnosis is you won't be back on the field for multiple weeks. That has happened to Jimmy G from the very first day he stepped on the field as a starter in New England. Like it or not, that's what happened. That's his M.O. That's Jimmy G. So you want to talk about the good? Well, take the friggin' bad. And guess what? The bad outweighed the good so much that we was willing to give up 3 future first-round picks to change it.
Was a starting quarterback.
And everyone says, George Kittle gets hurt too.
He does.
Did we draft it? Did we draft the tight end? Did we draft the tight end? No, we didn't draft the tight end. Was there a generational talented tight end in the NFL draft? Yeah, there was. Did we go after him at all? No, we didn't. We didn't even think about it. We didn't even worry about it. All right? So that's all I'm saying, Ronbo. That's it. So just freaking forget about it. Deal with it. All he is. I'm sick and tired of crying, John. I'm a Jimmy Garoppolo. Get the hell out of here.
Mike, be careful. Be careful, Mike, because if things don't go
on my fellow
the way you predict, you know you're gonna get it from you know who.
I really, listen. I don't care who wants to say whatever they want to say. It doesn't really matter to me because guess what? I know the truth, Ronbo. I know the reality. I know the fact that after we was in the friggin' Super Bowl, the head-ups of our team were looking for a replacement at the quarterback position.
And why didn't they make that move, Mike? Why didn't they?
Because freaking Tom Brady wasn't at least 3 years younger. If Tom Brady was 3 years younger, they would have pulled the deal on that trigger so fast.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
No matter how hurt Jimmy's feelings would have been losing his job to Tom Brady.
Got it. Last year, this year, give me some. What happened?
Last year, this year was what?
I mean, there's been opportunities to get other quarterbacks. Mike, I'm just saying, why don't they do it?
Yeah, well, Ronbo, you got listen, you got to get the right one now. You got to get the right one because here's the deal.
I thought they were all the right one. I thought Jimmy was the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Listen, Ronbo, listen. You don't understand how significant this decision was, okay? Because let's keep it here. Let's keep it real honest here, all right? At the end of the day, you're talking about a regime that's only had one winning season in 4 years? You're talking about a team, a regime that's had how many top 10 picks? We've had the number 3 pick twice. We've had a number 7 pick. We've had top picks. We passed up Deshaun Watson. We passed up Patrick Mahomes. So when you make a decision like that and you're going to go out there, that's it for you. Whatever quarterback you get now, you're riding with that guy.
Jimmy wasn't
and that's
around
it.
when Watson was available at Mahomes, so you can't blame him for that. I'm just wondering
No, I'm
why
saying,
Shanahan
my whole point is this. They
keeps
gave up
passing.
what they gave up to get Jimmy. It didn't work out.
Hey.
So they basically went to Jed and said, hey, look, give
Mike,
us one more shot at it. All
and
right. We gotta
there's
get
another
us
thing.
a real.
Mike, we got to go, though, because your guy has got a shot this year. He
You
can
gotta
make
go
it happen.
I'm lighting you up over here with the Jimmy G. That's why you gotta go.
You've hated Jimmy the whole time. You're not saying anything new. You're not saying anything new. You hate Garoppolo, and you made it clear. Now you got a guy that's going in that can take his job. Maybe he'll do it, Mike. We'll see. We'll see. All right, we got to go, though, because we're out of time, really, Mike. Shay, come on in, man.
What's up, man? Shout out to Niner Mike Ronbo.
Yeah.
He is passionate about
slandering
Jimmy G.
Yeah. I just wonder, though, if it's going to be interesting to see, though, if G has a year, what is going to be said about him now. I don't expect any apologies, but I do see the foot taken off the gas of the he sucks. I do see that happening, though, at least. So we'll see.
Yeah.
But anyway, Shay,
yeah,
looking at Jimmy, looking at Mike, looking at Javon, Jimmy is obviously the lightning rod, but McGlinchey and Kinlaw, maybe not so much, but do you see them succeeding beyond what they've done or fail?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, listen, again, Chill Pill Phil, love the guy, but he said earlier, about the whole Mike McGlinchey thing. Yeah. I'm looking at more Mike McGlinchey than I am Jimmy Garoppolo. See, the problem is to me, Jimmy Garoppolo is, middle of the tier quarterback, right? He's between 13, 15 range, right? Mm. But when he plays, we win games, right? The problem with him was staying on the field. It wasn't based upon merit. Mike McGlinchey's problems were based upon merit. Yeah. Last year, losing one-on-ones, getting blown up on pass protection plays. And people want to say, I'm a subscriber to Pro Football Focus too. I love my analytics and I'll base my analytics. But Phil even said earlier, he had 58 pass rating. That is damn near dead last amongst all qualifying tackles. So yes, he's one of the great run blockers as a tackle. But you're nullifying yourself, or you're literally contradicting or taking the great positive that you do and making it a negative just as much because you're terrible at pass blocking. And my thing is, I do not need Mike McGlinchey to be Trent Williams pass blocking, prowess. I don't need that. I just need him to be average or subpar. He was ranked one of the worst ones last year, so we can't have that. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're a great run blocker, but if you're also equally as bad as a pass blocker, then you're nullifying yourself, right? So yeah. I just need him to be at least, subpar or at least average, and then bam, right away. If he's like an average pass blocker or average in pass pro, immediately. I'm not saying he has to be as good as a run blocker as he is a pass blocker. No, I'm not saying that. I think his thing will always be run blocking, but you can't be one of the top worst, tackles in the league when, pass blocking. And obviously Trent Williams got paid like Trent Williams money because he's not only a sufficient, one of the best run blockers, but he's equally as good at pass blocking. Dual talent. But I'm not asking him to be Trent. I'm just asking him to be a little bit better in the pass blocking situation. And I think hopefully with Mac, I touched on this yesterday, but hopefully with Mac and the resurgence of Aaron Banks drafting of Aaron Banks, we can, hopefully see him be a lot better in pass pro. But that, for him, us picking up the 5th-year option, him being here for another 2 years, I just need him to, whoever's out there, but we can't see the same gaffes that we saw last season, or we're still going to have the same trouble with quarterbacks where people are getting blown up. And you know what I mean? And no matter what you want to say, Jimmy missed the read or Trey Lance missed, it doesn't matter. If that man is getting whooped right off the line, the quarterback can't even go through his progressions properly, right? Because he's already getting pressured on the right side.
It's a gospel truth.
That's my only thing with McGlinchey. Yep. So that's my only thing with Mike McGlinchey. But yeah, Ronbo. I think I think another caller said it earlier, and I'm gonna give praise to him. Shout out to him, whoever said about the Javon Kinlaw. We were in week 2 and somebody was already calling him a bust or whatever. Like, let the kid develop.
Damn, the man is not.
You know what I mean? Like we didn't have the D line. Last year. I mean, Solomon went down, Bosa went down in the second game. The kid was just getting his feet wet. We've seen that he slowly started to progress as the season went on because he was starting to develop. But I mean, everybody knows Brian Baldinger. Everybody loves his takes on the 49ers. He talks about the O-line a lot and the D-line a lot. But he says he's seeing moves that he didn't see Kinlaw doing in South Carolina that he's most likely learning from Kuseric, and he's most likely learning from Nick Bosa. And these are moves, these stunt moves that he's pulling off. He's like, I've never seen him do this in college, but he's slowly learning in the NFL, and I'm thinking he's starting to get it. And I think he'll take that next step forward. I'm not worried about Javon Kinlaw because at the end of the day, when we drafted Javon Kinlaw, we knew he was great run stuffer, big body, fill in the gaps, and has potential to be a better pass rusher. But I think that will come along as long as we Nick Bosa's teaching him stuff, and as well as Kuseric still on that D line, being the D line coach. I'm not worried about that. So yeah, and then Jimmy, it would be very interesting what happens. I think anything short of a Super Bowl, I don't think they we'll come back to Trey Lance. But if we do make a deep playoff run with Jimmy, then I think that answers a lot of questions that the Niners will be hopefully find a suitor for him to be traded, at least for somewhat of a high compensatory pick. Hopefully a second, third, maybe and I think they might maybe get a first out of him depending on how well he does that season. If he's looking at comeback player of the year, or he's looking at almost maybe in the MVP discussion depending on how well he's doing. But with these type of weapons that he's going to have, there's no doubt that if he goes out there and he got us in a 6-0 start, I find it really hard, no matter what they want to say, to see if they're going to trade him by the trade deadline, or they'll immediately trade him and then put in Trey Lance, right? Like if he's 6-0 and Kyle and them are sitting back saying, "Oh, look, Jimmy's doing wonderful. Who wants him?" It's kind of like, well, the team's on a good run right now, right? We're on a good course. Why alter it by swapping the quarterback?
That is
so to me, it just doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying. To me, it wouldn't make sense. So
yeah, I mean, if you go for it or not, mid-season changes for just to be changing, nah, that can't see that. Not in today's NFL. Shay, good stuff.
So
yeah, Shay, tomorrow we're going to find out what's went on in practice, and we'll be all over it and over judging like we love to do. So I'll be looking for you tomorrow.
Absolutely. All right, Ronbo. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. And shout out to my TNT brothers. Take it easy, Ronbo. See you tomorrow,
Thanks,
brother.
Jay. Looking forward to it. Night, fam. And there he is. He is Randy Savage Jr., Papa Dragon. He's got R2-D2 answering the phone. Papa.
Let me tell you something. First and foremost, there's only one macho man, Randy Savage.
You do that so well.
What is it, my son? What is it? Ask me your questions, and I will give you my answers.
Tonight, success or fail, the spotlight is on him. Jimmy G, of course, Niner Mike's favorite guy. Then you got Mike McGlinchey. And then, of course, Javon Kinlaw, who stepped into a situation not his doing, but the 49ers set him up so that everybody's looking at him like, he ain't no DeForest Buckner. Bobbit, last year, we have a knee-jerk reaction fan base that includes a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Javon, he did not come in and light it up right away and immediately got labeled a bust. About third or fourth week. When Nick went down after that, all you could do, Javon Kinlaw's a bust. Joseph Smiley, that Hawks fan, got a lot of nerve. I kept watching the game. My eyes kept shooting to the right. Joseph Smiley. You guys know Javon Kinlaw is a bust, don't you? Almost banned him. Boy. So, this is the thing. Do you see success or fail? Where do you see it going on, Pop?
Well, I got to look at it like this. First and foremost, it's all about, team. Let's talk about team. It takes a team to get it done. So the first team you need to address is not Jimmy Garoppolo. It's not Trey Lance, but it's the entire quarterback room, which has been absolutely abysmal since Kyle Shanahan took over the 49ers.
True.
Okay, and that's going to happen when your first draft pick as quarterback is feathered, and then you bring in that other scrub to start. Now, if you go back in the day, there was a time that we had excellent quarterback rooms. There was a time we had Joe Montana, and Steve Young backed him up. And third string was Steve Bono. And if I'm not mistaken, Steve Bono ran a 75-yard touchdown on a naked boot.
You were right, Bono. I forgot about Bono. Bono wasn't bad, yeah.
On the same time, in the same team. And then who was Steve Young's backup was Elvis Grbac. So moving forward, the last time we had a very good quarterback room was we had Alex Smith and we had Kaepernick. Okay, right. So now, the only thing we've ever had that's had any kind of success has been Jimmy G. And what Jimmy G has taught us right now is that the 49ers win with him, but they don't win because of him. So what you're talking about is we have a certain level of quarterbacking, and as long as we get a good quarterback, okay, Kyle Shanahan will take that good quarterback and make him very good, right? So what we're hoping right now is that Trey Lance is very good, and very good will get to great, and great will be even greater, et cetera. That's what we're hoping. So we're talking about an entire quarterback room that has to show up this year. We're talking about not just Jimmy Garoppolo. We're talking about Trey Lance. We're talking about Nate Studfield. We're talking about Josh Rosen. We're talking about a quarterback room that needs to step up. In that quarterback room, we have a second-round pick. We have 2 first-round picks in our quarterback room right now. So now the pressure's on Kyle Shanahan. He's got to really, really step up. Period. They have to get better from that entire position. And to me, it sounds like the paradigm has shifted in the front office, and that's what they tried to do this whole summer. So if you think that it's a lot that Jimmy Garoppolo is there, it's not. And the reason why it's not a lot is, again, if I knew they drafted a quarterback, okay, trust me, I'm going to be working with my receivers. I'm going to show up in the best shape I've ever been in my life. That's not Jimmy G. Jimmy G is a meathead. What I mean by meathead is not a leader. A meathead is one of the boys. So in the locker room, he's one of the boys. Yeah. So when everyone's talking about chasing tail, Jimmy's he's right with them talking about chasing tail. He's one of the boys. And that's why he's loved so much in the locker room, but he's not a leader. Now, let's talk about our other boy. Kinlaw got a lot of hate because he wasn't Princeton Buckner. That's why he got all that hate. He got a lot of hate because you could have got Kinlaw in the late first round, possibly early second round when he was drafted. So he was overdrafted. Now,
you think so?
He was overdrafted.
Wow.
Yes.
I hadn't thought about that.
There were 2 or 3 teams that really liked Kinlaw, and they liked him down in the 20s or early second round. We took him earlier because, again, I think they liked this story or whatever. But the bottom line is that what I've seen from him
was sending love letters to Shanahan every day about Javon. Remember that story?
He fell in love with him. You're going to fall in love with a kid like that because he's had to do it all by himself. Like they say, Boza, he comes from privilege, but he also comes from parental and family privilege. He comes from a gene pool of football players, right? Kinlaw comes from homelessness. He comes from nothing. He comes from walking around with a bad knee most of his college days because he didn't even know what a doctor's room looked like. So he's having to learn not only how to be a pro, how to act in a locker room, but he's having to learn that duality of what it's like to be someone who is black and poor in America. There's a duality there. He's got to learn how to behave himself in front of people that got stuff, that got money, that got lives, that got their stuff hooked up. So he's learning that. And last year he had to do it without an off season. He had to do it with COVID. So yeah, anyone that jumps on that kid and is like, oh, he's a bust, is baloney. Yeah. It's absolutely baloney. Because what I saw, I don't see too many busts doing some of the stuff that he did last year, because he did flash. And that's what limited coaching. So now he's got an off season. From what I've seen, he looks like he's been in the best shape he's ever been in his life, ever. Because now all of a sudden he knows how to train. He knows how to put the right stuff in his body. He's got coaches. He's got dietitians. He's got a lot of people telling him about life and explaining stuff to him that he didn't know, that his parents didn't know, and their parents didn't know. So if the Niners stick with him, I think he'll be fine. the biggest question is with kids like that in the locker room and in life is that they come from such bad circumstances. We don't know how much bad stuff is going on in his body. That's what we don't know. We don't know how bad his knee really is. And we don't know if he can recover from, like, I think if Nick Bosa tore his ACL 3 or 4 more times, he'd be fine because he knows how to deal with it. He's already got health care. He knows what a protein shake is. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
He's been getting that. Exactly. He's been getting that stuff his whole life. So there's big disparities based on where people come from.
We got to stop. I'll see you tomorrow, though. We're going to hear what Grant Cohn. Notice I say what Grant has to say, because Grant be just saying things, man. I want to see what he says tomorrow.
Oh, God bless him. Oh, well, we'll trade Debo for a 6-pack of Coke. He would trade McGlinchey for a Pop-Tart. He hated McGlinchey so bad, and don't get me wrong, McGlinchey earned it. But I'm just saying, in general, the worst thing you can do is respond to Grant Cohn.
There you
go. Best thing you can do is ignore him.
We really got to go. Production's going to cut us off. Let me see you tomorrow, though.
What?
All right, fam.
All right, smash that like button.
Thanks, Bob.
Smash it. All right.
Yeah. like air is throwing him out of the orbit.
Yeah.
Night, Randy. Let's make
Good, Ronbo.
Good night, Bob.
Sweet dreams, Buttercup.
Yeah. Let Jay sit in. Jason. Yeah, he'll go on all night. Jason.
Oh, man. Yeah. Cohen is a loose cannon. It's like, he lands some, he hits. I would definitely not get rid of our second round pick because they're different receivers, Debo does, he does pretty much everything. End arounds, he can run the ball if you want.
Mm-hmm.
Put him in the backfield, but I don't want to put too much stock in that. We should trade for Julio though, just not with Debo.
Yeah,
and Brandon Ayuk. People forget about Brandon Ayuk for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
He's really a powerful piece to be picked up. And yeah, Jimmy is definitely in the hot seat. But what I would say is, remember Dante Culpepper?
Yeah.
ACL, went to Miami after the Minnesota career. Brady, I think, recovered pretty seamlessly because he's a stiff statue anyway. He didn't really do much but stand there and pick you apart with the great O-line. That's where Jimmy's hurting at. Our offensive line, when you think about the center, that guy we got from the Giants who's always hurt, then we got rid of the center to the Miami Dolphins we had.
Name?
Our signal caller under there hasn't been our interior, and then McGlinchey, he's not perfect, but what we can't have is him not be able to contain the edge because then it collapses. Yeah. And Mullins is hurt, Beathard's hurt. Jimmy, he's not mobile. That's the thing. Jimmy used to be mobile, man.
See, and Jason, that's a subject I want to explore one night too. You know what? Jimmy G changed immediately the next year. Well, he's regressing. No, you don't regress in a few months. Jimmy's trying to run Kyle's offense. I really think Kyle can expand that offense and stop making guys so afraid to be themselves. Because, you saw Jimmy in 2017 when he first came in. Jimmy was dancing, rolling out the pocket, doing all kinds of directed traffic.
Contrary to what I'm hearing tonight as far as he didn't have ice in his veins, Jimmy was ice in the veins. I was like, he was throwing passes with guys in his chest all the time.
And throwing through windows that are 6 inches wide. I said, man, this dude. That's why I said that's
just a tragedy to see injury change. I'm a Derrick Rose fan, I see him today on the
another
Knicks,
tragedy. Great basketball player.
The knee injury is not the easiest thing to. Yeah, so that's what it is, man. And D Ford is. I heard you say D Ford earlier. D Ford is in the hot seat. I was going to just listen tonight until I heard this blasphemy about trading Debo. Like, Debo's, if he can stay healthy, that's the thing. If we can stay healthy, it's like we got people who need to drink milk on our team. Drink milk or something. I don't know. I don't know what to do with these injuries, but if we do stay healthy, everybody's going to be all right. That's what Bosa was brought in to do. Kinlaw. See, when we lost Bosa, they could double Kinlaw. The D-line interior is not a real whole lot about who's good enough. It's about physics. Can you physically dominate with strength? And as good as you may be in that area, they could double you, man. And that's what Bosa brought to our team that Super Bowl year. Buckner and Armstead had the best year of his career. What happened to Armstead last year?
No good year.
It's not that he got bad. He didn't regress. It's X's and O's on defense as well as offense. You lose players, you're gonna lose some power in the trenches. You know what I'm saying? Like that O-line. Our O-line looking real good right now. I just need McGlinchey. If McGlinchey could just hold that edge, we got our O-line together. We're gonna be good.
Oh man. I mean, and now you got the play action. Everything works now. Remember the Wildcat? For some reason, Kyle tried to run last year, and it failed miserably. You know who failed on that play? McGlinchey. It's like he was asleep. The dude came and blew the play up because he ran right by Mike. Like, Mike, are we running the Wildcat? My God, Jesus Christ. What were you doing? The dude just went by you like you weren't even ready.
I don't like the gimmick offenses. Ever since we got into that pistol read play option, run pass option shit with Greg Roman.
Yeah.
You know what? We do need a fucking tight end, though.
Yeah.
We do need another tight end. I think Dwelly's pretty good. You know what? Dwelly's pretty good. But we lost Jordan Reed. You know what I mean? He retired due to concussion, I believe.
Yeah, that would
he would have been. Oh man, he was turning up last year.
Yeah, he scares DCs. Dwelly is good, but he's not scaring any DC. Jason, we're gonna run out of time.
All right, bro. It's been a privilege talking to you, bro.
Hey, same here. I always love to hear from you, Jason. Get on back here tomorrow. I'll be looking for you. All right,
brother. Peace.
Hey, is it? Hey, Mike, get out in there, Mike.
Do you know what cow is cooking?
Mike.
What up, Ronbo?
Mike, man, hey, I just saw a report today. I says, this is true. 3 guys that probably have the spotlight on them harder than anybody else on the team, because mostly because a lot is expected of them, right? Because everybody knows what their job is supposed to be, right? So you look at Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, he's a quarterback. He's had a great season. He's had a couple of bad seasons. 1 out of 3 is not good. 2017 doesn't count because that was his debut season, so you can't say anything about that. But 2 out of 3 years, you fell down. So he's got a big spotlight on him. And then you got Mike McGlinchey. Mike McGlinchey, I feel sorry for Mike McGlinchey because when Mike McGlinchey makes a mistake on offense, pass blocking, nobody ever gets over it. Nobody ever talks about his run blocking. Nobody cares. That's his job. If he's one of the best in the league, good. We're not going to give you an applause. But if you make a mistake pass blocking, you're an asshole. Yeah, I was going to kick out. My God. Mike, I want to see him do well this year, too. I'm on his side. And then you got Javon Kinlaw, who last year, guy's a bust. It's week 3. How's he a bust?
His new nickname is gonna be Bust, but for a different reason. Bust you in your damn mouth.
I hope to see that.
He's got
too.
some nasty in him. You know what I mean? He's got some nasty in him. Maybe he can turn into some crazy ass John Randall if he's a little faster. But
he's
we'll see. He didn't. I mean, we'll see what he can do when they have to worry about Bosa on the field.
Yeah. Because Bosa does a lot for everybody in that line. When Bosa's working, everybody eats. That's just the bottom line. So he didn't get enough credit in 2019.
But yeah, those with most to prove obviously Jimmy G, we've all talked about that, just beyond the field, let's see what he can do. Because I looked at a lot of those games in 2019. Like you said, he's thrown some dimes, and when he was rolling out was when he was most impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's over. He's over 100 on play action, but no. Kyle says stay right there in the center.
They beefed up the line. They gave him Alex Mack. That's going to help him a lot.
Yeah, because Mack's gonna be able to call the defense.
With Armstead in there for the ready to go and reacclimated to the offense, because it's probably got some wrinkles that he hadn't seen when he was there in Washington. Kyle's always innovating. So,
Mike, who are you talking about? Who?
Wasn't Trent?
Williams.
Williams in Washington when Kyle was there still, right?
He's got that ironed out now. He had enough time last year to pick up. And you know what? In the beginning, there were people talking bad about Trent. You know how we do. People were talking bad about Williams the first couple of weeks after he got back out there.
Oh, hell no.
It doesn't take us long.
There's a reason why they signed him for 6 years. But Kyle's got the ingredients. He's got the ingredients now. They locked down Juice, like I said, for that 5 years. Armstead 6 years. He's got the pieces to do what he wants to do with punching you in the mouth with the running game. Secondary has to prove. They drafted everybody in the secondary is on notice pretty much with the rookies. The rookie's going to make an impact. What's that going to do? That's the competition. I want to see competition in the secondary for sure. I did read something that said that Sherm was in talks with us. So
what? Did you say it again? Because I want to make sure I heard what you said. You said what?
That Sherman was still in contract negotiations with the 49ers. Nothing confirmed, but because no one's calling him. No one's calling him.
Pete
So
Carroll.
if he wants to play,
What
come
happened,
on
Pete?
back on a cheap little deal, some little veteran minimum or something. We'll have some kicky, some
Fill up with
bonuses or
incentives.
something,
Give him some incentives.
He was because he was getting banged up a little bit too much.
Yeah, Mike is back. Now that you mentioned that, though.
D Ford has got to get his ass on the field.
Oh, I don't even know if I want to talk about
Or
D
you're out
Ford.
the
But listen,
door.
Mike, I got a question though. If Sherm comes back, are you starting him? You have to, don't you?
Well,
this is the kind of things.
It honestly depends on what team you're facing, because I think he would be more of a centerpiece. You can move him around,
The safety on occasion? Because I don't want. We're running a hybrid now. I don't know if I want Sherm in on every play. You're right. But he's going to be standing on the sidelines begging to get in. But, if we're playing man coverage all of a sudden, Sherm is not the guy anymore, if he ever was.
Then I got D'Amico Ryans. He's got to prove, can he?
He's on the spotlight too. True.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Still his defense's ring. We'll see.
Yeah, Kowalski's on the spotlight too. There's a lot of 1 years. K1's not. Kowalski. Who else? What do you do with Jalen Hurd? The 49ers are very patient with people.
I had
though.
him on my list too.
Yeah, they don't.
I don't know.
They're not going to get rid of you. You get
he
hurt.
broke his back. He broke his back and tore his ACL. So what? He's got 2 years left, or
on his rookie contract? Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody in chat said he was jogging around. I don't know what that means.
Shitty injuries. So.
Because if he can play, it makes a lot of difference. We're not saying he's all pro or anything like that, but you know what the thing is, what he does is create a huge mismatch for most defenses, and that's what I want to see.
He's nasty in the blocking game because
I know.
Kyle said originally that he was pissing people off in practice. Remember, he was getting in fights and stuff in practice.
Him and Dante.
They told him he had to tone it down. They're like, tone it down a little bit. This is just practice.
Him and Dante got into a fight. Dante Smith. What's our guy that comes back every year?
Was it Dante Johnson?
Johnson. Yeah, Dante Johnson. And Jada was going downfield and just beating him up.
Ronbo, I'm so excited about the cornerback depth to get those guys out of there as depth, and these rookies can.
God, I can't wait to see Lenore. Man, that's going to be fun. This dude.
I do want to keep Tavarius more for special teams because, dude, this dude that heads-up play in that Saints game where they went for that dumbass fake punt, and he just threw the guy out of bounds, and they're like, that's pass interference. But the rule actually is it's a punt. So there's no pass interference. You can't review holding, so he was doing his goddamn job, you know. I don't trust him as in coverage and stuff, but keep him for special teams, dude. All right.
He's going to play. Mike, we're going to see tomorrow, huh? After we find out
all right, yeah.
what the camp report is.
All right, peace out. Shout out to production. Shout out to the platform, Ronbo.
Thanks. Thanks, Mike. I got it, Mike. Have a good night. Oh, God. And it's time for Emilio. Emilio. Emilio, man, I'm looking at the guys under the spotlight. They're sitting in a police station, dark room, lamp sitting over the top of them. Jimmy G's in one room. Michael McGlinchey's in another room. And Javon Kinlaw's in room number 3. All right. Make this easy on yourself. You can either go down with the rest of the guys, or we can get a plea bargain going. All you got to do is sing like a canary. Hey, because I'm putting myself in position to get a lot of trouble in this season, because I'm telling everybody, look the hell out for Jimmy G this year. And Mike McGlinchey, I'm also thinking, you know what? Are we picking on Mike a little too much for his little goofs? Mike may learn some footwork this year. And then, of course, Javon Kinlaw, everybody's seen it. We have people calling Javon a bust in week 3. So, I'm looking for all 3 of these dudes to really do a number. But if anybody's going to fail, or all of them going to fail, where are you at on this if you're going to make a decision or a judgment call right now?
The only one I see might fail, if anything, is McGlinchey. I don't see nobody else failing. That's about the only one, really. Jimmy, the thing with, hearing what to get about his mic, I don't get it. I get his point at times, but then at times he just tells me wrong. Talking about Jimmy. First he hates Jimmy, then he likes Jimmy, then he hates him again. I said, dude, pick a side. You don't like the man, you don't like the man. Who cares? What's this man? What is he doing? Well,
here's the thing. One thing, I just want to say one thing about that real quick. The thing is, everybody goes to the same negative points when they work on Jimmy. Number 1 is injuries, and number 2, he only passed the ball 9 times. What the hell is that about? That was Shanahan calling the offense, but nobody cares that Shanahan got a running back that's running over 200 yards. Forget that. Stop running and make Jimmy do his job. Okay. And I don't know what to say to that.
Well, put it like this. It's a bad example, but look, let's say you're playing Madden, and you're running the ball. You don't need to throw the ball, and you win the game. It's kind of the same thing. Shanahan is just calling the plays, and if they're working, stop it. It's just like with the whole thing we got beat with the Dolphins.
Right?
They kept throwing the ball to what's his name?
Yeah.
Because it kept working. Why would you not do that?
Yeah.
Play.
I'll never understand why that's an inflection point. Jimmy only threw the ball 9 times. Well, they didn't ask him to throw it any more than that because they were running the hell out of the Packers.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said, when we go back to the what was his name? Robinson, when we got beat to the Dolphins, same play 3 times in a row. What do you do? Give up 3 touchdowns. Yep. You're going to do the same thing if it's working over and over. It's just logic. Come on, You keep saying, Jimmy only threw 9 times. Who cares the damn game? We're still in the game at the end of the day. I don't care if he threw it just once.
Meanwhile, Moses got 200 and what? He sets a new record. Why not let him set the damned record? The high percentage is always the run. Let it run. Even George Kittle said, run it down their throat. It's Jimmy's fault.
Think about it with Jerry. He broke, you think about Jerry. He broke his record. Why didn't we keep on the ball? Jerry can score. Score a touchdown.
Stop throwing it.
You're going to do what you can to win the game. It doesn't matter if you run the ball.
Stop doing it. Run it.
Your offense wins the game. Sometimes your defense wins the game. Doesn't matter. One of the other matters is you get the W. Doesn't matter how you win the game. How about some of these logics don't make sense? Like, what are you talking about the best? So what? You got us the W. Now, what game was that? Well, with the kicker, was it 6 at the 6. Optimism won that game. Navarro won that game. Like, they just wins the game. Who cares?
Yeah.
Win the game, that's all that matters.
No. It's just whoever you don't like on the team, let's get his ass. This is what it comes down to, you know. So it's not the coach's fault. It's the quarterback's fault. How many plays? Threw the ball 9 times. Well, he sucks. How many yards does running back get? Over 200. Okay. So it makes sense.
I can go to another game. We were doing so bad that game when we beat the Jets with Garrison Harris. Garrison Harris ran the ball 99 yards and won the game. And you win one game or another. It doesn't matter how you win the damn game. As long as you win the end of the day. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So just ragging on Jimmy just because he only threw the ball 9 times. So
Yet, Emilio, against the Saints, Jimmy threw the ball all day long, and they scored a boatload of points.
Exactly.
So to say he can't throw the ball is bullshit. And that's why I call it that, because it is.
Sometimes I may not, I don't agree with it, and I do. Sometimes I don't, but you got to look at what he can and cannot do. No, he's not that kind of quarterback that can throw the ball goddamn 50 times down the game and win the game. But hey, like they said before, it is a team sport, and when we do win, it's proven.
And you do what you need to do to win. It's not about, well, I got to make sure he does his work today, and this guy's not doing enough work. I got 2 guys over here that are gold bricking. They've given them a job to do too. Kid, what?
Even if we go back further with Montana being the quarterback, Montana didn't win that damn game. Sometimes it was Roger Craig. So it's just you're using logic. It makes sense, but it's just come on, man. That's not the only reason. Sometimes we just win because we have a quarterback. So
Bill Walsh said, Roger. He called Roger to the sideline. Roger, listen, you're running way too much. I need Joe to get some work in today. Let's have a seat. We're going to throw the ball a few times. See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I call haters haters. That is not a reason to pick on the QB. We'll see.
Unless you like McGlinchey going to cry about it later on. They're picking on me. They're making fun of me. I don't like that. I'm doing my job. Come on, dude. It's a man's sport. You or you're not.
McGlinchey's gonna have a good year. I think this year will be McGlinchey's year. For some reason, you can see.
It doesn't matter to me as long as he helps us win.
Yeah.
If not, Shanahan better put his ass there.
Yeah, because Aaron Banks actually plays the edge outside. I mean, plays the tackle too. We're gonna see. All right, we gotta go. Let me see tomorrow. It's gonna be fun tomorrow. And first thing I'm gonna do is find Grant Cohn.
Every time we come on here, it's fun with you. It doesn't matter what day it is.
Yeah, no. But tomorrow they're gonna be on the field throwing the ball around. If Jimmy sucks tomorrow in practice, it's gonna be hilarious because Grant's gonna be all over. But here's the funny thing about Grant.
Oh my God! You know what that whole thing about
if Lance falls down, Grant's going to be all over his ass, too. Why? I said, Grant, the kid's a rookie, okay? People got way these huge expectations to come in and just be dominant from day one. He was on him last week when he was out there watching. I said, come on, man.
You can't have nobody dominate the game overnight. You just can't. Man, like you said, we got to go. But it's just nobody can dominate the game in a day.
It just doesn't work. All right, Emilio. Let me see you tomorrow, fam.
All right. Man. I'll see you later, man.
All right.
And remember, not
Thanks,
a polite.
Hey, Mr. Blockeye says, we got our OTAs and training camps. We really need those. It's no failures. We win. I'm curious on our wide receiver running back DCs. We are really loaded. 2021 owes us. Not by nature, think about the wide receiver room that Matt Ryan has. This is just a kind of a stupid statement. Hey, it is, well, it's a big show. It's a big show on tonight. Joe!
Ronbo. I love how so enthusiastically you bring me in. It makes my day.
So we don't get enough of you because you're only going to be here for a couple more months, and you're going to take every now and then you'll pop in during the season. All right.
I'll be around a lot during the season. Don't worry. So, what's going on, man?
We're looking at the guys who are under the spotlight with a lot to prove this year. Jimmy G, of course, leads the pack. And Mike McGlinchey, one writer put it, I got a kick out of it. You know what? He's right about McGlinchey. But I think McGlinchey gets a little too much whipping. But like Shea pointed out earlier, he ranks.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm just saying, Shea pointed out earlier, he does rank a little lower than he needs. He doesn't need to be at 58. He could move that up at least to 69 or 70, with pass blocking, because we already know he's a great at run blocking. And then Javon Kinlaw, who last year I got into fights with people on Twitter. Javon Kinlaw's a bust. Jesus Christ, he just got here. He didn't get any preseason, and he's a bust? No, he's not.
No.
Ronbo, man, you're always picking them losers. They're like, and I got hot then. So
just don't even acknowledge those people. They're idiots. Look at how long it took DeForest Buckner to become an All-Pro Pro Bowler and a first ballot, potentially a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's exactly the road Javon Kinlaw is going to be heading down towards. It takes a while for these guys it takes a while for these guys to develop.
Wait. I bet you know the answer to this, too.
Strong.
Show, how many sacks did DeForest have the first year? I think he had one or two.
I don't remember. I think it was around that range, yeah.
No, he was frustrated. I remember the second year. Yes.
And look at the turmoil that our team was in that year, Ronbo. He had nobody to help him to develop, no stable coaching situation to help him develop, not like Chris Kasurik. You know what I mean? Our coaches were being rotated in and out every year when DeForest Buckner was here.
True.
So, and that goes the same for Mike McGlinchey. We drafted Mike McGlinchey specifically to block the run. That's it. He's not a pass blocker. Okay? People need to get over that. That's not who he is. That's what we drafted Aaron Banks for, to help pass block. And so Mike McGlinchey will never be that pass protector that people are looking for. We specifically drafted him to open the holes, which is why you saw Raheem Mostert on that side the most last year, bursting out of the gate right away. So get over that.
Yeah,
he's not a pass blocker.
And now you're seeing Mostert on the other side going behind. It doesn't matter where you put the run. For the run, Mostert can line up behind either one now. It's where do you put George Kittle on the pass play. I put him next to Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The tight ends help with the pass blocking too.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I want to bring up a point somebody else brought up earlier tonight about the cap situation. We actually have nearly $18 million in cap space right now. That's why our name is being connected to Julio Jones, because they are looking at teams with the most cap space to be able to afford him. And we are one of them, along with the Chargers, the Patriots, the Ravens. They don't need anybody because they just drafted 2 wide receivers this year. And I forget who else, but we're the top teams that can afford Julio Jones. And people need to realize that the Falcons are going to be eating up a little bit of that salary of his contract this year.
That's right. So you don't have to pay the whole thing.
We won't be eating up the whole thing. So we can maneuver and work his salary situation into our cap space, and it's not going to require a lot of draft capital either. People need to get over that too, because realistically, there's only been 2 players that have panned out that come out of the later rounds since Kyle and John have been here, and that's Fred Warner and George Kittle. So a second round this year and a third round next year, and Raheem Mostert would get the deal done most likely.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? We only need Dre Greenlaw and also DJ Jones. Richie,
right?
Richie
too.
Doesn't get enough credit, but he doesn't get enough playing time. We do well in the late rounds. We give up a second round, though. You're right.
Yeah.
Because we've got Debo in the second round, Dante Pettis. We're 1 for 1. Yeah. Who else did we get in the second round? Anybody else? Oh, Akello. We're 1 for 3.
Akello. Yeah. So, And that's kind of one of the players I wanted to bring up tonight that everybody has brought up already is Deebo Samuel, who I think has the most to improve because, Ronbo, it has been 18 years since we drafted a receiver that's actually panned out. Brandon Ayuk just got here, so I'm giving him a pass. He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Deebo Samuel needs to step it up, you know? I understand he's a gadget player and does these nice things with the end arounds and looks like a running back half the time when he's on the field, but nobody is out there helping our quarterback. Jimmy, you know? Nobody. Why do you think Kyle Shanahan back in the 2017 or 2018, it was either 2018 or 2019 where he said some of our receivers need to step up. And that is why we went and got out Emmanuel Sanders. Nobody was stepping up, Ronbo.
And did you notice how Jimmy's game stepped up as soon as Sanders came?
Exactly.
I have been adamant about that the whole time. Nobody wants to hear, Jimmy sucks. I said, you know what? I'd like to see Jimmy with just at least one number one receiver and a decent number 2 and 3. I want to see what he looks like then.
If we get Julio Jones, Ronbo, oh my God, he is 10,000 times better than Emmanuel Sanders. You know?
Frightening. So, you know,
yeah.
And that year when Marquise Goodwin was with us, always gained separation. I mean, that was amazing to watch him and Trent Taylor were just wearing the field out. Every shot was on money. So, you know, you got to give a quarterback something to throw at. You know, with rookies
and a lot of
second and third tier.
All of our receivers are small on the small side, Ronbo. We need somebody with Julio's stature with that big to get in here and, you know, catch those 50-50 contested balls.
And get things done. Because contrary to what people think, if they think Lance is going to come in with the same receiver room and just light it up, boy, that's going to be disappointment, unbelievably. So we're going to have to go, though. Let's see tomorrow and see what Grant Cohen has to say. Listen to Grant tonight about what happens for the truth, the whole truth, and the nasty, mean truth. I have him. Have a night show. She'll leave. Hey, Ellis. Oh, hey, 49ers Ultimate Report. That's right. Did we do that one? Hey, let me just real quick, Ellis. Hold on a second, because this I was wondering about this. I had this question. 49ers Ultimate Report answered in 2016. Butler had 6 sacks. We did have 6. Okay, 73 total, tackled 2 fumble recoveries and 1 pass defense. That's not a bad. Okay, he did have that many sacks. Okay, because I remember they played him to death. They had him out on the field for more snaps than he should have. But I know the second year he fell back down. All right, Ellis, come on in.
Yes, sir.
Ellis, man, we're looking at the guys that got a lot to prove this year, and Jimmy G, of course, is always going to be in that list. And Michael McGlinchey's been thrown in on the list. And Javon Kinlaw, who I will defend until he proves that he is a bust. I do not see him as a bust, but he does come in to replace a guy that was really a good football player. So he has got something to prove as well. Do you see any of these guys failing or succeeding this year, Ellis?
Who was the first one?
Jimmy, of course, and then Mike, and then Javon.
And what was it again? My bad. Okay.
They've got something to prove. All 3 guys have something to prove. I mentioned because Jimmy, of course, has had 1 out of 3 years that he's looked good. Then you've got McGlinchey.
Who's got the most to prove, basically?
And well, I'm just saying, maybe you could say that too. But I'm saying, do you see any of them succeeding or failing? Label each one where you think it's going to land.
I think Mike McGlinchey is going to do better. He put on a lot of weight. I think you know, mentally, I think after the beating he got last year within the media, you know, Grant did a good job in attacking him. And, you know, it's sometimes, you know, I hate to say it, but sometimes the guys, they need to know when they're effing up.
Yeah.
And Mike wasn't really taking accountability. And as a leader, if you're going to be a leader of a team, you got to be, you got to lead by example.
He did have a
you got to
C
be a man enough to take accountability. when you're playing like shit. Anyway, but Jimmy, the only thing I feel like could go wrong for Jimmy is him getting injured, like we've all been talking about. I really feel like the mistakes in the pocket and little stuff sometimes that he does. I imagine he has rid himself of that aspect, and of course his health and his focus on his health, but just making sure that he's taking care of the ball, making all of the right, checks, just the plays, and is going through his progressions and everything like that. Because the problem is going to be that if Trey shows to be the one that makes the better decisions, even when stuff starts to turn up here in in a few weeks and going on up until before the season, if Trey shows himself to be better
superior
at making those decisions, we already know athletically and everything else, there's no match between the two. But if Trey is doing better in executing those plays, and he's checking, he's going through progressions and having more success against the defenses and stuff like that, Jimmy could find himself in trouble, man. So I just would like for him, because I don't have a problem with him being here, and I don't have a problem with him starting this year. I feel like it would be good be great for Trey just to get that a moment to watch and study the field and get really that tutelage that he needs. It's not going to hurt. But Jimmy, and as far as what he's going to be doing, he just got to be on his shit this year, man. And I think he's going to play the best ball he's ever played. I said it like several shows ago. I feel like Jimmy's going to play great, and if he doesn't, then that's totally on him. There's nothing that we can do about it. I just want to put some positive out there for him. Though I'm not crazy about the guy. I don't hate the guy, because there's been.
But you're being objective.
He's made me very proud.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's made me very proud in a lot of plays and a lot of moments in the game. And not just once or twice. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna I won't say that. That'll be a lie. Again, it's just been the things that obviously that we're having issues with is consistency. In the play and then the injury
staying out of
stuff,
harm's way.
And that's it's just basic stuff. But Javon Kinlaw, I feel like Javon's going to take it up a notch this year. And
I do too. I really
as long
do.
as he can stay, if he can have a clear bill of health for a whole season again, I mean, I could care less if he's not getting 100 sacks or I'm not I'm over exaggerating, but I'm just saying if he's not going crazy, because the fact that he can play a whole full season and play strong and play stout and solid, and he's increasing in his his play and just how he's doing on the field. I mean, I'll take that any day over somebody that's coming in and not producing anything, who's getting injured, who's doing us no good on the field and on the 49ers.
D Ford.
Dante Pettis, i.e. Jalen Hurd, and the list goes on and on. And I can't. I pray that Jalen Hurd is coming out this year ready to play, because we have been waiting.
That dude,
and,
I know he could be dynamic.
A whole nother level.
Just play.
Imagine Julio coming and then Jalen Hurd coming back and playing. I mean, I just don't. I mean,
Red
pick
zone.
your poison.
God.
Pick your poison.
Jesus.
Please. I dare you.
I mean, what he did in that couple of plays against the Dallas Cowboys, everybody says, man, that wasn't nothing but the Dallas Cowboys. Half them dudes wasn't even playing football the week after that. I said, yeah, I know, but still, you need to look at what Jalen technique-wise and how he looked in that play. Screen the dude off, uses his body, uses his size, goes back, uses his height. This dude knows what he's doing. I want him.
Yeah. He's going to do the same thing he would have did on those guys. He would do the same thing to
anybody else
in the regular season against anybody starting defense. So let's not get it twisted. This is he's not a foo-foo weak type player. That boy can play, man. So I just hope that he's ready, and hopefully by us not really getting too much information on it, that must be a good thing. I mean, at least that's what I would like to roll with myself.
And don't forget about run plays, Ellis. You know how Kyle likes his wide receivers to block? Put Jalen out there, who got in trouble about being too rough. How you gonna be too rough in football? Jalen was. I ain't never heard of nothing like that before.
Dante Johnson was getting mad.
God.
Yeah, man. Come on, dude. You've been playing in the game how long? Dante Johnson should have been ashamed of himself. I had a receiver like that was on my team that was a weenie like that. And I'm like,
man up, dude.
Anyway.
Please get a testosterone
Yes,
shot
sir.
or something, man, because you bother and embarrassing people, man.
Please. Know what you're getting paid to do for a living, my brother.
God. Oh, right. Ellis, we're going to go. Hey, tomorrow's going to be the day. Reporters going to be on the field. What you do is you listen to Matt Merrill go first, check him out, and then maybe a couple other guys, 49ers.com people, and then go check out, see what Grant says. That is my source of entertainment every time reporters hit the field. Grant, nobody see what you see, Grant.
He knows what he's doing.
I know, right?
What he's doing, and he's good at it. He's really good at it.
He is.
You know, I gotta give it to the kid. He's good.
Anyway.
But yes, sir. Thank you, brother Ronbo, for the platform as always, man. And you know, salute to the Niner faithful, man. All the good guys, man. Shout out to TNT, man, and homie Shay. All the good guys, though, man. What happened to Dre? Where's Dre been from TNT? I don't know if anybody has. I haven't heard him. I'm used to hearing him. I'm used to hearing Will. I'm used to hearing all those brothers on there, man. Anyway, but shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to that guy. Hopefully everything's good with that brother, man. And make sure y'all hit the like and subscribe. 50,000 is what we're looking for by the end of the year.
So.
We'll take whatever we can get until then.
I don't
Peace
think
and
so.
love.
Thanks, fam. Have a good night.
Yes, sir. You too, champ.
Eric codes 562. Hello.
Ronbo.
Yes. And who is this?
Hello. That's me, D-Flow. I got a new number.
Wait, did you say D-Flow?
Yeah, D-Flow.
D-Flow, what's up?
How's it going? What's
I just realized I haven't talked to you in a long, long time. Yeah, how you been doing?
In a minute.
Yeah.
I've been getting my welding. I've been welding.
All right. Been busy, working hard. All right. Well, D-Flow, we're looking at the preseason of a season we're getting ready to dominate. And, D-Flow, you know what? Since you've just been going for a long time, and Grant Cohn has been Grant Cohn, but he went buck wild today and just went out and told her, I'd trade Debo straight up for Julio Jones.
You know what? I heard that. And you know what? I kind of agree because you're talking about a future Hall of Famer.
True.
This guy still, remember, what age did Jerry Rice retire? Do you remember?
30. Jerry was 40 years old, wasn't he?
42 years old.
Yeah, Jerry.
Jerry
he wouldn't stop.
Jerry was 42 years old. And think about it. Julio Jones, it's just hamstring. And he's still not losing speed. You saw what he did to the Niners when he's still coming from an injury. He just straight won the game.
I know.
We couldn't do nothing. He's a route running. Picture him and
Ayuk.
How good would Ayuk would be? Because Ayuk's a route runner.
And now Julio's taking off a lot of pressure. So now Ayuk, yeah, you're right. You're not going to guard Ayuk with one guy? Go ahead. And you can put all the people you want on Julio. It ain't going to help none.
Then you got Kittle.
Yeah.
And that should open up Kittle.
Well,
because I love Debo. Debo's a man, but so far he's only the man in sweeps and intermediate routes. And we don't have no deep thirds. None of that.
Yeah.
If we do that, that's gonna open up Richie James Jr. That's gonna open up a lot of players.
I wish
and we got the height with the speed.
Yeah, but Shanahan he keeps Richie around, but I know he doesn't like Richie. Richie is a deep threat, actually. When you see Richie running free and they get the ball to him, I always wondered, you could run that play more often, Kyle. Richie has a knack for getting loose.
And what about Ross the Boss Dwelly, who doesn't even drop the ball?
I know, right?
He's not in there.
They get him the ball, though.
Doesn't even drop.
He gets a certain amount of plays. Shanahan, I guess we can't question him, D-Flow. The guy is brilliant, although I still don't understand why in the Super Bowl he did a couple of things. First of all, Mike Person was getting breached in the fourth quarter like I've never seen a guard get breached. He could have put Brunskill in. And also, they couldn't do a damn thing with Debo. Why didn't you go to Debo in the fourth quarter, Coach? So,
why not go to Debo or Kittle? He didn't go to none of them in the fourth.
So I don't really know.
So I think it's just Kyle Shanahan
his only weakness is his genius. He thinks he's better than everybody, and he thinks all
That's
of
a
his things will
rhyme.
work no matter what.
his
You know?
weakness is his genius.
Yeah. That's his
That was
weakness.
brilliant. He's. But anyway.
And as far as who's going to step it up,
Yeah.
I don't care who's behind the under center. If the O-line don't pass protect, and basically where this new offense are giving to the wide receivers, where, you know, it's a passing lead. If the offensive line does not protect, I don't care who's back there. Because look at last year, almost all the quarterbacks got hurt because they couldn't pass protect. And in this league, you got to learn how to pass the ball because we're not going to be winning all the time, you know, with the lead. So we're going to have to pass the ball. And if any of the O-line, the center, the right guard, the right tackle, the left tackle, you know, Trent did his thing, even though, like, you know, a couple of times he messed up. But hey, what do you expect from the guy who hasn't played for like a year and a half?
I know, right? Yeah.
But he still balled out. But if the O-line does not block, that's going to be the main concern because we got to pass block.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Patrick
Mahomes, you could be anybody you want to be. If you got no protection, you're going down. Aaron Rodgers 3 years ago, no pass protection. They broke his collarbone. See, this is why when people say it's the quarterback's fault, it's not always the quarterback's fault.
It's not the quarterbacks. Wasn't the 49ers one of the fastest teams to get rid of the ball because all the quarterbacks are getting pressured. That's why we had to get the ball so quick. Now, can you imagine, you know, I think Jimmy was going at almost 2 seconds every time he got the ball.
Yeah. He's one of the fastest releases in the league. Yep.
Yeah. Now, can you picture if he has time where he can actually read his options? That's 2 seconds. Think about it. You do 2 seconds, how are you going to read your 1, 2, 3 progression?
All you got to do is have a receiver that can bust loose in that amount of time, or at least 3 seconds, and Jimmy's going to put that ball where it's supposed to be. Go get it. It's just that easy.
That's quick. 2 seconds. 2 seconds to be a release. Usually, like on the splits, it's like what, 4 seconds, 5 seconds for the split.
Yep.
Right.
So we're gonna see it.
And the one that I think is gonna break out, people don't say it. I'm gonna say George Kittle. He needs to break out in the red zone because all that money we're paying him, I love him, but man, bro, you got to score some touchdowns, man. You got to get at least one time in your career get double digits.
D-Flo, you know what though?
You know?
Even Julio Jones doesn't get a lot of touchdowns, which is very strange. Some of your best receivers in the league, they'll take the ball down the field, but they're not always great at getting in the end zone. George could do more in the end zone.
Because they're bracketed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. D-Flo, it's late. We're going to go. We came in late tonight.
I think Kittle's going to break out though.
I like that.
Yeah.
Take it too. Let me see you tomorrow, though, after they get through with practice. All right?
That sounds good.
All right, D-Flo. Good to hear from you again.
Talking to you. Have a good
All right, Phil. Night.
All right.
And,
All right. Good night.
Good night. And Tony, Atlanta, Tony.
Hello, Ronbo. How are you?
Tony, how are you is the question. It must be rocking. The news is just getting stupid. Julio's calling people's programs. I mean, you always look at that as a reflection. That makes the whole organization look bad. I'm calling Shannon Sharp. I'm out of here, man. I mean, Julio, dude, you gonna get nasty in the last few days. That franchise drafted you, made you into a star, and you can't go out quietly. It's hilarious. So
And the funny thing is, he never hardly says anything.
True, huh? Yeah, right. I've never heard Julio being very verbal.
But you know what, though, Ronbo, when you look at that situation, when Shannon Sharp had him on speakerphone, he didn't know he was on speakerphone until the end.
So you know what? You're right. He probably wouldn't have been talking so much had he known he wasn't just talking to Shannon.
This media these days, Ronbo, I don't trust the media.
They got no.
I'm disappointed in Shannon Sharp for doing that, putting them on speakerphone without him knowing it.
And then
in front of the whole nation.
And then Shannon, of course, puts the entire organization on blast by making statements like that. And he probably wouldn't have done that had he known. You're right. You know what? Is that situation going to clear up? Are they going to find a way to keep him? Because, I mean, now he's starting to sound like Aaron Rodgers.
I doubt it now because tomorrow, our owner's name is Arthur Blank, the owner of Home Depot, and then our new head coach is Arthur Smith. Both of them are having press conferences. I don't know if it's together or two separate ones. Talk about this.
Tony, okay, Tony, I can already tell you what's going to happen. They're going to come to the. We're aware of the fact that Julio Jones has voiced his displeasure with what we're doing, but we're letting everybody know right now we're not trading Julio Jones. Oh no, exactly what they're going to say. Let's see.
But they've been shopping them, and I found out something else I didn't know. I didn't know Julio had requested a trade in March.
I read that too.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
And also, the Falcons want a first-round pick, and they should. It's Julio Jones. So that's going to complicate matters because some people may not want to give up, but I think does Belichick have a first-round pick?
Next year, he probably does.
He'll give it up in a heartbeat.
I know that leaves Indianapolis out because they don't have any first-rounders. And I don't think you guys do for next year either, do you?
We don't. No, not for the next 2 years. So there's only a couple places Julio can go.
The L.A. Chargers, New England.
Yep.
And Baltimore just drafted 2 receivers, plus they signed Sammy Watkins, so I don't see them getting them. And they got less cap space than you guys do.
You know what? With Baltimore, if I'm Julio, I plead, don't send me the ball. Man, but he ain't going to throw the ball. Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, he wouldn't be successful there.
Yeah, I like Jackson, but he ain't. He's just not a guy that's going to throw the ball. He can't see that well, apparently. From what I'm watching, Lamar, he'll take the easy shot, but when he can get away, Lamar's gone. That's it. And you ain't going to catch him. So.
But the perfect fit is you guys, Ronbo, for the reasons why you and the caller just said. He said, what? You're not going to double Ayuk? You're going to double Julio? Okay.
Yeah.
And then Ayuk can run by you. Then you double Ayuk, and then Julio sprinkle and Kittle sprinkle.
Yeah. See, the 49ers aren't saying much. They're trying to keep it quiet. They may be talking to Atlanta. Usually when the 49ers are getting something done, nobody knows they're doing it. So if they're talking to Atlanta, I can't imagine what kind of deal they'd work out. Falcons have already made it clear they want a first-round pick. I don't know.
I wonder if they offer you guys offer a second-round pick and throw D Ford in there. You think that's possible?
Yes, D Ford. They would give up D Ford immediately. D Ford is somebody. If you can get rid of him, you do. D Ford is not going to help any team. Rusher. He's not going to help though. He's his legs. His leg is not going to work. Tony, he came into camp when the 49ers just got him and said every year he has a situation with his knee. He usually misses this. I thought, okay. And then it lingered, and he had to have a cleanup surgery. They had the plasma into the knee. And I started getting a little worried. He came in and he played 8 games in 2019, and that was all we got out of him. So D would be a mistake.
Well, it's one thing after another with D Ford.
Yeah. Last year he started out with a his calf went out. That migrated to his back, and then that went from his back into his neck.
Wow. And Ronbo, the Falcons fan base, I was on a couple of live streams this evening. Ronbo, they're idiots. Now they're turning on Julio like he owes them something. And I typed in the message, well, we paid him all this money, and this is how he does us.
Yeah.
He don't practice all the time. They wasn't saying that before.
No, because he was doing the Julio, beating teams to death.
Oh, my goodness. Now, Julio's giving his body and his soul to that organization. I'm not happy about him wanting to leave, but this is the NFL, man. You know, it's a hit business with an S in front of it, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
So, the late Bernie Casey, who played with the Rams, said that back in the 60s. And the NFL is.
Yeah, no, it is. Dog eat dog.
But
so
it really is. So Julio seen what they did to Sanu. He seen what they did to Roddy White. They released Roddy White the year right before they went to the Super Bowl in sign Sanu to a free agent deal.
I remember that.
He's seen what they do to people, man. He says it's not happening to him. That's all.
And it's just rough. Tony, we got to go, though. Let's see you tomorrow if you get some time and watch as the drama unfolds. You guys be coming and taking the spotlight off a lot of people, that Julio madness. Let's see what happens tomorrow.
I don't like this drama. But hey, Ronbo, before I go, Texas boy is funny, man. Y'all had me rolling out the tears tonight about Texas boy.
He's easy. He's a mark. All right, Tony. I'll see you tomorrow.
Take care, sir.
You too. Hey, Daryl.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Daryl, man, we're sitting there looking at guys that got something to prove this year, and also Grant Cohn's compelling question of the day, his statement of the day was, "I'd trade Debo straight up for Julio."
Yeah, I be watching Cohn. He is a funny guy. But look, with that, we really don't need to trade Debo. We can get Julio without trading Debo.
How would you do it, though? They want a first-round pick, though.
Nah, ain't nobody going to give him a first round. I give him a second round and get him hurt. I get that hurt up, man.
You just like Tony. Tony asked for a second-round pick and D, and, of course, we'd do that because D's not going to help us. We're going to have to find somebody to take the other edge. And now you're saying Jalen Hurd. Is Jalen going to play this year?
I heard he haven't showed us nothing in 2 years. So Julio showed us something for 10 years.
I know, right?
I'm going that route. But
Julio's
that's what I would do. I know we can afford him because right now, Ronbo, we really in win mode.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
mean, we got everybody on a one-year deal next year. We need to win now. And if Julio, that's our chance to throw the ball deep. And I'm going to take that and get to Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy couldn't throw the ball deep. I mean, I've seen Jimmy throw some bonehead plays now. Every game I've seen him throw the ball where it shouldn't have went. And I never see him throw it out of bounds. He tried to force it. But I'm wondering, do you think that's Cal?
Sometimes I think, I look, and people get on me about this. Remember when Emmanuel Sanders came, all of a sudden Jimmy's game stepped up about 3 notches?
Deep.
Well, not only that.
He started throwing the ball deep.
You need receivers that can do these things.
That's why we need Julio.
Yeah, anybody just can't do it and just magically be great. He's got to be that. That's why when Kyle went for OBJ
Julio.
and guys like that, you need that guy. Everybody's not that kind of guy. So
that's why we get Julio, Ronbo. That's how we get Julio, and we give up Hurd because Hurd, man, I haven't seen him yet.
I'd take him in a minute.
Second round and Hurd. And I'm just thinking, like, man, that's Cal's offense. Is that Cal limiting Jimmy, or is that Cal knowing Jimmy can't do it? And if you think that, you might as well put Trey Lance in.
Yeah. Well, think of it this way.
You might as well put him in.
Emmanuel Sanders, Jimmy threw the ball past him, and Emmanuel Sanders was deep downfield. That ball bounced into the end zone. What if that was Marquise Goodwin or Julio? That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. Easy.
See?
That's a touchdown.
So that's why you do need deep threats.
Jimmy is limited.
Yeah.
And you went up in the draft to get Trey Lance. Honestly, Ronbo, if I love Jimmy, I got his jersey. I don't hate him because we ran the ball against Green Bay, but he didn't have to do it. It doesn't matter. We got to win. He didn't lose the game. What if he threw the ball 9 times and threw 3 picks?
And we routed Green Bay.
And everybody be talking about he threw so many interceptions. He didn't have to, but did Cal take the ball out of his hand because he wasn't confident with Jimmy?
Yeah.
So I look at it both ways on that.
And Daryl, also, how early did we take the lead against Green Bay in that game?
That game was over in the second quarter.
So why am I throwing the damn ball anyway? Run the clock out.
For 200 yards. So I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, run the clock out.
But honestly,
and we're gaining yards.
No, but honestly, Jimmy made a bonehead play coming out in the third quarter. And that's when Cal just started running.
Yeah.
That's when he started running because they couldn't stop the run. That's when he really just started just running the ball. But Jimmy was looking like he was getting ready to do, every game, honestly, Ron, when I know you love Jimmy, I love him too because I love my Niners.
But I've seen Jimmy make some bad
plays.
Yeah.
He throw the ball at least once or twice in harm's way. And some of them, it should have been picked, but it didn't get picked.
Mm-hmm.
Every game. He throw at least one. I'm like, come on, Jimmy. Where was the man? Throw the ball away.
Yeah, that's my biggest pet peeve with Jimmy. He won't give up a play sometimes when the play is over. Abort.
Exactly.
Jimmy. Throw it out. Just
That's what I'm
throw it
saying.
out.
He won't give up a play. Okay.
That does
so
bother me.
I feel like this though. It's 17 games this year. Put Lance in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know they want to play Jimmy because they're paying him, and I know at the end of the day they want him to shine so we can get our picks back.
Yeah.
But if Jimmy don't shine in 2 games, Lance coming in. Even
Maybe.
if Jimmy win the games, it looks sloppy. Lance coming in that game.
We're jumping the gun on Lance, though. We need to see if Lance is actually ready for the NFL. I think people assume, because they saw what he did at the school he went to, that he's just going to come in and segue smoothly into the NFL. I don't see. You remember Jashawn Kaiser?
Yeah.
He looked awesome.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember how awesome he looked in college? You got to give these kids a minute to get used to the NFL speed and game and set. I don't know that Jimmy knows the offense. He knows the NFL. You got to wait a minute.
Mama, he just might be that dynamic youngin. He might change. You
We'll
never
see.
know if you don't put him in.
We'll find out.
At the same time, with a quarterback like Lance, if he would have went to the Washington Redskins, because I'm from D.C., if he would have went to the Washington team,
he starts.
I wouldn't expect nothing from him. But he is a 49, and we got weapons.
Well,
And he got legs.
he's, you know what?
Give us a chance.
Daryl, one thing, we got to go, but one thing you remain confident of, there's no defense in the NFL better than the one team he's on. He'll get tested in practice daily.
Exactly.
So we'll see.
And,
All right.
and one more thing before we go, because I know
Hurry.
the time's short. Kinlaw is going to be.
Okay. Guys, I got to warn you tonight. Production will cut you off if we're going way over. Sorry, Daryl. See you tomorrow. We'll try again. All right. Jashawn.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jashawn. We're looking tonight. We put the spotlight. I don't know why I brought this up because all it did become a Jimmy beatdown. But you know what? The beatdowns on Jimmy are fine because when the season starts, and I'm feeling pretty confident, Jimmy's going to look pretty good this year. It'll be my turn to say, I tried to tell y'all. But Jashawn, the spotlight's on Jimmy. It's on Mike McGlinchey. And it's on Javon Kinlaw. Kinlaw, of course, because he's replacing DeForest Buckner. McGlinchey, because the fact is everybody on the offensive line looks really good this year. Can Mike carry his end of the deal on that right tackle? And, of course, Jimmy, we've got a new quarterback, and everybody swears he's going to come in and just light things up. So Jimmy's on the hot seat as well. Do you see any of these guys, which guys failing or any guys all going to succeed, or do you see some failures involved?
I think Jimmy G is going to he's going to be all right. Yeah, he's going to be all right. And Michael McGlinchey, I don't know about him needing his footwork and he's gaining weight. Hey,
he needs to though.
See, if you take a look, go look at Larry Allen that's playing with the Cowboys. His footwork was good, but how much he weighed?
Kind of light,
see, if you
right?
take that, but see, only thing about McGlinchey is taller.
Yeah.
So I think that McGlinchey, he's going to get better at pass protecting. I see that coming right now.
Jashawn, you know what I worry about though with McGlinchey? What are the coaches doing with him? I don't. There's some footwork things that I don't know why we don't work on him. Those are the kind of things you can actually correct. Mike's feet are out of position. I've seen that because I watch him at times. I said, Mike, look at the left foot, Mike. The defender sees that, and he's going to take you. Stand square up. I don't know. Sometimes Mike stops thinking sometimes. The coaches should actually work with him. Go over the film and make some corrections. I blame the coaches partly for him, too.
Yeah, because it's a technique. So he got to get his technique in. Once he gets his technique back, he'll be fine. But I don't know about him this game having him putting on more weight. That's not going ain't going to help anything at all.
People picked on him last year, John. Remember that? They said he was losing too much weight is why cornerbacks was knocking him down.
Oh, man, I don't know about that. McGlinchey is fine, man. He just got to work on his footwork, man, and his technique. That's all he has to do.
Weight distribution. There's a few things. Yeah, come on, Mike. He'll get it.
And Javon Kinlaw, that's gonna be a question. I'm hoping that he'll be a breakout this season. They saying that he's gotten stronger, he gotten bigger as well. His body, it feels good. So
yeah.
I'm looking forward for him to have a better season.
And
now, in terms of being,
and he's got more time this year. Last year just came in. We had COVID. Nobody could do anything before the season started. All right, let's go, Javon. Get him out there right away. It was too soon. He needs more season.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. He needs more, and I think Dede Jones really will help him out as well.
Yeah.
So not much.
I look for him to be a lot better
Jimmy
this year.
G, he just got to stay healthy.
And he's got a better offensive line this year. You give Jimmy G a lot of time to throw, I'm pretty much guaranteeing he will cut a team up. So I'm looking forward to that.
I tell you about Ronbo. I think Lincoln Thompson, being that his contract is up this year, I think they need to put Aaron Banks over there. And they put Aaron Banks over there. Oh man.
You know what though? Lincoln's contract is up this year. Deshaun, the offensive line, you want to make sure those guys have been playing long are the ones that are going to be the strong. Especially, you look at the Cowboys' offensive line, those guys played together for a long time. They became impenetrable. So the longer those guys can stay together, the better. Even with Mike, because it's like basketball players running a play. 5 guys all know where they're supposed to go, where they're supposed to be, how it's supposed to work. Continuity is everything with an offensive line. So Lincoln Thompson, if we can keep him, yeah.
Yeah, you think so? I see that Aaron Banks, man, is really proven. Greg Cohn showed a video where I don't think when they played Clemson, they didn't want to put nobody on him at all. I mean, he was just mauling every defensive line that come his way.
That's why we want him over there to help. We want him to help Mike. Trey don't need no. Williams don't need any help. Yeah.
Yeah. But,
so we're gonna see.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine, man. Yeah. That offensive line will be fine. We got the good center. He's fine. So hey, we'll be all right, Ronbo.
Alex back.
Looking forward for the OTA and
that's it.
It's all said and done.
Yes, indeed. Deshaun, man. Hey, tomorrow, man, we're gonna find out of what they look like in the first day of camp. Since everything's so serious, starting from day one, we'll get the reports on these guys tomorrow and see what's up. All right? Looking for you then.
Okay.
All right, Deshaun.
All right,
have a great night.
All right, you too.
Thanks, man. Hey, Jay.
What's up, Ronbo?
Jay, man, we're just looking around. I mean, we're looking at the guys that have the most approved this year tonight. Since tomorrow, we're going to start getting reports out of camp. But who do you like as far as success and failures? If you look at Jimmy G and Michael McGlinchey's under the spotlight tonight as well, along with Javon Kinlaw, do you see all 3 of these guys succeeding, or do you see some failures possible?
Yeah, Mike McGlinchey, D Ford, and I ain't gonna say Kinlaw. It's just too early for him to say, hey, he's a bust. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna rule Kinlaw out of it. But Jimmy, if Jimmy don't stay healthy, he's gonna be in there too. So I'll put D Ford number 1, Mike McGlinchey number 2, and put Jimmy 3rd. So he has to show up. I don't even think he played a snap last year at D4, right? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember game 1. Was D in the game?
Right. Oh. No, I don't even think he was in game 1. I think he was hurt through training camp, whatever training camp we consider.
I think he didn't go through training camp. What little we had.
Right.
He was trying to get better.
I think he got hurt on OTAs, wasn't it?
We didn't have OTAs.
Exactly.
D came in hurt and stayed hurt. I don't think he played a snap last year.
See, he's too brittle, man. We don't need nobody who's brittle.
There's something wrong with his leg. I don't even think he has to do anything. The leg just won't work.
He need to retire or get some of that money back.
I thought he was going to, actually.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to, because he's robbing our team. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out there. Tell me anybody in this world who don't show up for work is getting paid.
Every day. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he ain't producing on the field. He should not get paid. And I feel like, when he's on the field, he's, you know what I'm saying? He's a great player.
Awesome. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But he's not on the field. So, it's time to cut loose with him. You know what I'm saying? Get rid of him. Bring somebody in here like Justin Houston. Somebody who can.
That dude is still available from what I heard, too.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So
he's more of a tackle, though.
Well, I don't know, but he can still play in. So I would bring him in and update with. That's why I was saying that we should have drafted. We should have found somebody in the draft to find who can pass rush and try to get somebody. You know what I'm saying? But
we would bypass.
Comfortable.
Yeah, we would bypass that position this year. You
got
to be careful with those pass rushers in college, though. Them dudes, a lot of them. How many names do you hear from every year? You heard about a great pass rusher. You don't hear about a lot of them doing.
That is true, Ronbo. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them gemstones you gotta find. You gotta find the one that, you know what I'm saying, that wants to be great in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Or wasn't taught the technique in college. You know what I'm saying? And
speed rushing.
Who has the speed? Right.
Yeah, speed rushers. They're the first ones that usually get weeded out in the pros because you got good offensive linemen that you ain't running past this dude. Yeah. So.
Right, you this is a whole nother level, but I just say, I ain't gonna say Kinlaw. Kinlaw had a decent rookie year, he didn't produce a lot of
bad.
Yeah, he didn't produce a lot of sets, but he put a lot of pressure. He got a pick six, you know what I'm saying? So the dude ready, I think he gonna be motivated. Then plus Nick gonna be here, so it's gonna bring another, he's might be singled up, so he might get a lot of chance to get a couple of more sacks.
Because last year, we didn't have that edge presence, so most teams were concentrating on stopping Eric and Javon.
And them dudes are a lot stronger than it is college football, man. You know what I'm saying? Them linemen is a lot stronger than them college football, so you got to get used to that, and it's all about technique, right? Because everybody's strong, so you got to learn technique to get open faster. Or get,
bigger, stronger, faster. Hey, fam,
exactly.
Good to hear from you, Jay. I'm gonna look for you tomorrow. Looking forward to the camp reports. I know it's gonna be a comedy because you're gonna get a lot of different reports. Some are gonna be the same, and then there's gonna be the Magic Man cone.
Yes, sir, Ronbo. Yes, sir.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Appreciate what you do, brother.
Thanks, man.
You know what I'm saying? You have a good night.
You too. All right.
Thank you, brother. You have a good night.
Thanks, Jay. Night. Alvarez. Alvarez. Okay, Alvarez it's getting late. Area code is 385. 385, hello.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Yo, and who is this?
This is Kevin.
Kevin?
From Utah.
Kevin from Utah. Kevin, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm good, man.
All right, because we.
How about you? How are you doing?
I'm always great, man. I'm waiting for the
Yeah,
weekend.
man, you're always looking good and shit. You're always looking like you're going to the gym, doing a little workout.
Thanks, Kevin.
You're looking like you're happy in life, and that's good.
I am. Kevin, I have one wish. I want my revenge during the season. I stood up for my boy Jimmy for months. I took all the nasty things that he said. Jimmy sits back quietly, doesn't say anything. I spoke up for him. If he comes out and smokes this year, Kevin, I'm going to be the most delighted. You think I'm in a good mood all the time now. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be ridiculous. Game 5, week 5, week 6. Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Jimmy ain't lost a game yet. He ain't had a game less than 300 yards. What you go say now? You know, I'm waiting for that day. I got to wait. I'll do it. But Kevin, the spotlight's on Jimmy. He has things to prove this year. Mike McGlinchey is said to have things to prove this year. And Javon Kinlaw, for reasons unknown, has been put on that list. Do you agree with these guys having things to prove? And do you see any of them failing?
Well, yeah, I mean, everybody in the NFL has something to prove. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
a lot of people, everybody's coming from college, you know. I mean, that's where everybody comes from. It's pretty much college. I mean, unless you get some free agent that's never played football before, like Malcolm Butler with the Patriots. When Bill Belichick signed him, he never played a day of football in his life. He didn't come from college, but most of them come from college. I've been writing some points down that I've been hearing everybody talk about, and I'm interested in. Especially, I've been hearing a lot about a Kinlaw. I don't think he's a bust. He's he's going to be good in the NFL. Remember the interception Kinlaw had last year against
Nobody's ever going to forget it.
Whatever, and he almost took it back to the end zone. I mean,
No, he did. Remember with that strange dive into the end zone? Because he's not a wide receiver running back. He doesn't know how to do a touchdown, but he did a good job.
Definitely, that him trying to replace Buckner, that's a big shoe to fill. But I mean, last year or the year they went to the Super Bowl when they had Buckner in the defensive line. I mean, who led? I looked up the stats, and Armstead led the team in stacks that year, not Bosa or Buckner, but we got rid of Buckner. But I feel like Buckner came out because of Bosa, and we just stacked that defensive line, and everybody was able. It was just like nobody's ever seen it before. Bosa came out and had one hell of a rookie year. I mean, you want to talk about somebody coming out and doing crazy stuff their rookie year. Bosa came out and earned his whole money his first year. And also, look at the free agents the Niners picked up. I want to talk about the center from Atlanta, the all-pro center from Atlanta the Niners picked up from Alex Mack and Gallman Jr. I'm kind of looking on Gallman Jr., the running back from Minnesota.
This call is being recorded.
And that was a big pickup with the guy. And then the draft picks, they picked up, you're going to talk about the corner situation. Everybody's talking about that corner from Michigan, the rookie.
Diamador. Oh, you're talking about Ambry.
Yep.
We got two. Both of them look like they're going to be special.
And then the safety from USC. The safety that they picked up from USC, the Polynesia. The Polynesia. They're saying he might be a steal in the draft. So as far as the defensive backs, I mean, they kind of added some stuff to the defensive backs, and then also if they get Sherman, if they re-sign Sherman, who knows what's going to happen with him. But and also, I wanted to go over the quarterback situation this year. Drew Brees retired. Drew Brees is no longer with the Saints. Are you kidding me? Drew Brees, you want to look up all-time stats, it's Drew Brees up there with Tom Brady, and
it's amazing.
As far as pass rush, they just lost Drew Brees. Saints no longer have Drew Brees, and then you got Houston, right? Deshaun Watson, he's going through some court shit, and they're not sure if he's even going to play this year or how his career is going to turn out with all that court stuff. And then you got in Green Bay this year, Aaron Rodgers with his controversy. It's not even. He may not even show up for OTAs. They said today he didn't even show up for OTAs, so who knows what's going to happen with him.
Just completely lost it. He is pissed. And this is after years of being pissed. Rodgers has been pissed. God, it goes back at least 5 years.
Yeah, so I mean, look at what's going on. If this, so maybe who knows what's gonna happen with the Saints, and then the NFC, especially with Texans. I mean, and then also they added a game and then an extra playoff team, so the Niners can get into the playoffs, and they've got this is going to be a totally different year.
Long season.
The only reason I was going for the Bucks in the Super Bowl is because fucking the Chiefs, But look at it like who cares about the Bucks? I don't care what happens with the Bucks. They got Tom Brady. They did good. But once Tom Brady leaves, the Bucks are going to go back to being the Bucks.
Being the Bucks. And I do not appreciate stacking that team like that. Kevin, there's no spot on that roster where the guy's not a Pro Bowler. I said, man, how come this is allowed? Damn, that's just wrong.
Yeah, and I'm excited for Trey Lance, the quarterback rookie, and we'll see. Because I like both of the quarterbacks we got right now. I like Jimmy G and Trey Lance. Hopefully we could do so with both those guys. And then also who I see on the hot seat is like some people were saying, was D Ford and then Jalen Hurd. I mean, But I mean, Deebo Samuel is one of our top receivers. I don't know why everybody's hating on him. He's a gem for us. The running back we picked up in the draft as well from Ohio State.
Yeah, Debo's. Everybody loves Debo. Grant just came out of nowhere and said he'd trade Debo for Julio today, and everybody thought about it. Kevin, some people are going for that trade though.
Yeah.
I've got mixed feelings about it.
I would give up a draft pick, especially a first round draft pick for Julio. I wouldn't give up Deebo Samuel. You're not giving up Deebo Samuel for Deebo Samuel, the young receiver. He's been doing good.
He's a catalyst of this
tears
offense.
He's an offensive beast. He's looking for contact. He's just proved himself. I believe he proved himself. And then also Ayuk, I believe Ayuk is going to do good. I mean, he had a pretty good rookie season himself, even though the whole team was injured last year. Yeah. The whole team got injured last year, and everybody was trying to prove themselves. But Ayuk played most of the season. Debo played most of the season.
Yeah, we're gonna stop. We're gonna go overtime here, but listen, we'll see tomorrow if you get some time. Hopefully, I haven't heard from you in a long time. I guess I've heard this voice for it. No, tonight's the first night we heard from you. Get back here tomorrow. All right.
I'll be here tomorrow. I'm my day off tomorrow and all that.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Have a great night, Kevin.
And you have
Thanks,
a good night.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks. Go Niners.
Yeah. And oh my God, it's Bashar for a second day in a row. Bashar.
Trey area, just like that. So the people of the 49ers are
Well, we know he's not. There's no spotlight on Trey, but there is definitely on his counterpart, Jimmy G, Mike McGlinchey, and of course, Javon Kinlaw, just for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Javon's probably said, "Hey man, you know what? Y'all brought me in here. I don't know DeForest Buckner. Don't blame me because you couldn't keep him." But Bashar, these three guys, who do you see succeeding? Are there any failures? What's up?
Well, I definitely think we're going to see a different Kinlaw this season. The guy is just too much of a mean guy when he's on the field, and he's got too much talent, too much potential. He's just working really hard this offseason. So, and he just got the experience under his belt now. So he's going to be a whole lot more than just a bull rusher.
That's important. So, he was starting to learn some technique last year. When Nick left, that actually stunted his growth because Nick, he was learning from Nick. So yeah, if we can keep Nick on the field, there's no telling what. Can you see a big version of Nick? No, a huge version of Nick. That's hilarious. Give me some more, Bashar.
Well, everybody knows that Nick Bosa makes everybody's job on the D-line much easier.
Heck yeah. I mean, he scares everybody on the other side of the field. People are watching Nick. Hey, Nick's got him tied up. Okay, quarterback, I guess that's you and me. Bye. Bam. Oh, God. Did anybody get the license number of that truck?
I was going to say, I forgot to say this last time I talked to you. I was watching a Grand Combs show the other day. I forgot who it was that called or what they said.
Yeah.
Exactly. I can't remember. All I know is your name was thrown in the equation.
Oh, no.
But then Grant Cohn was like, okay, if you talk to Ronbo, tell him I said what's up. Tell him I said what's up.
Because I promote Grant like crazy now. He should appreciate me. Grant has become my favorite critic. That's why tomorrow, Bashar, and you know it, I told everybody, listen, you look at everybody else's report and then read Grant last to get the truth. Grant does not care if you're Coach Shanahan. He's had some bad things to say about Shanahan. He's had some bad things to say about Kittle. And Jimmy, of course, he's gone books of bad things about Jimmy. So, you know, I like Grant. His honesty, it's not meant for everybody, but if you really want to get a real good idea of what happened out there, you got to listen to Grant.
He is right about some things. He just
a lot
goes
of
off
things.
the deep end every
Yeah. So, but
So Ronbo, what's going on, man? I mean, who do you think's gonna? What do you think of Jalen Hurd, man? Because I've been getting
I'm worried about him.
I feel like I have to argue for him a lot. I hate to be in that position, but my thing is with Jalen Hurd is this. You can go ahead and say what you want, but my thing is, when have we picked up a receiver with that kind of size, that kind of agility, that kind of quickness, that kind of strength, that kind of power? I mean, just all the
attitude.
Freaking, oh my God! His I can't even speak right now. He's got so many damn attributes that we've never had in a damn receiver. But everybody wants him to go. You've been injured.
Hey, you'll never hear me saying that. Yeah.
Motherfuckers, give him one more year. He's got way too much talent to say goodbye to. It's like, this is the year, I'm telling you. And I told people, I said, okay, tell me this. Name me 5 players who've been injured 3 years in a row. And they're like, I can't, I don't know. Exactly. Come on, man.
You know
he
what?
got injured twice. It was bad luck. That's it.
I prayed last year that this guy gets in on the field. Jalen Hurd, if he's ready to play, we automatically become dominant. Because the fact is, Jalen Hurd, we like to run the ball, right? Kyle likes to make his receivers block. Jalen Hurd may get flagged for hurting somebody, just blocking them. But they can't throw the flag because it was a legal block. Also, red zone, Bashar, you've seen what he did. And like that, somebody just said a few minutes ago, hey, what Hurd did in that end zone of the Cowboys, it doesn't matter who you are. Did you see the technique and skill level he was using to get that done? That's who he is. So, yeah, I want to see him badly. And I hope this is the year. Please, give me a big, bad target.
Like Niner Mike says, forget about it, Ronbo. Forget about it. This is Niner Mike. The writing has been on the wall, Ronbo. He's not going to be here for long, I'm telling you, Ronbo. Forget about it.
That's perfect. That's exactly Niner Mike. Hey, you know what's so funny? Tonight, I think Mike actually admitted something toward, did he say he's my paisan? I don't have anything against him for that, but this is that. Mike actually felt, he was on Jimmy so bad, he felt bad. He forgot him and Jimmy are both Italian. You can't hate him that bad.
On that note, I'm gonna get going. I know Sheik's been waiting longer than me. He's been dying to get on the line. So go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hey,
Rob, good talk to you, man.
You'll always talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully, see ya. There goes Bashar. And there he is, the Iron Sheik.
Ronbo, I've been waiting.
Yeah,
shout
Sheik,
out to Bashar, man. He makes some mad pieces.
And I forgot Bashar is very good at doing imitations and impersonations, man. I mean, but that was Niner Mike all day. God, Jesus.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was laughing, man. He doesn't give impressions. I got to give him some. He knows his stuff really well.
Yeah. You know, Bashar used to do stand-up from what I remembered we had a conversation a few years ago. Bashar was doing stand-up for a while. Yeah.
He did actually. He did bring that up. Yeah, he can still do it. He's a pretty funny guy, man. We talk about it almost every day.
Mm.
He's a great guy. He makes everybody laugh. So. Yeah.
But Sheik, man, the guys are on the spotlight, man. Sheik, do you see success or failure? And if you see failures, who do you see them with? The three guys under the spotlight tonight: James J. Garoppolo, of course, and of course you got McGlinchey, everybody's favorite whipping boy, and Javon Kinlaw. I don't know why the writer that I checked, look, I don't know why you're going to, it's not his fault. The 49ers picked him and got rid of DeForest. That's not, he shouldn't be underneath that kind of pressure. I want whatever he brings to the table, you know? But what are you thinking?
Yeah. You're dead wrong. Like, Kinlaw definitely should not be in the equation at all because you got to look at the situation. He lost Bosa, he lost Jones, he lost pretty much everybody in his defense and offense to help him out. He was pretty much by himself with Hyder that he's not really familiar with. And Armstead, yeah, he's there, but he's normally a sub-package kind of guy. He's not like a every down kind of guy. So it just kind of fluctuates of like how he plays, and he's just going to be, okay, well, I have to do extra now because these guys are out. So I have to take a lot of more things that I should because he's a rookie, you know. But he definitely showed up. He proved what he needed to do. Like everybody said, like the Carolina pick that he did, amazing. And the other plays that he did, he's a run stopper. That's what his position is, as a run stopper. He's not a pass blocker, pass rusher, but he's like a runner stopper. That's what he is, and that's where the power comes from.
But Sheik, he might be because last year they knew to concentrate. Every team that played us concentrated on dealing with the interior of that offensive line. They knew Hyder. It's like somebody pointed out the other day, and it was funny because I just realized that. You notice how Hyder was always late getting the quarterback? It wasn't an immediate thing like one of them Bosa sacks or a forward sack. You seen Hyder come in, chase the guy for a minute. Yeah, why? Because it took him around a while to get there because all the pressure was on the inside. Everybody's bunched up in inside trying to stop Eric Armstead and Javon Kinlaw. Meanwhile, Hyder's sneaking around the other side, but he's got a longer way to go. That made sense. I got to go back and watch some games. I want to see that to be able to comprehend that. That's exactly what happened. So this year, maybe
that's the thing that you're
going to see something different.
Mm-hmm. Right, and that's why you need that D4 kind of pass rusher speed type if he's healthy. Because that presence of like getting to the quarterback or the running back, whoever it is going to be instant. It's not going to be timing the pocket so much. He's going to just get him right there in like 4 or 5 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, Hyder is a great pass rusher. He did no doubt he had a good year, but he's a speed. He doesn't have there's a lack of speed that he didn't have compared to D4 and these other guys that we had. And Nick Bosa was getting great in hand ability, and his style that he does is amazing. Dominant player that he is, and I think he's gonna, be being a potential defensive player of the year right next to Donald. He's very gonna be right close to him. Mm-hmm. And I'm really feeling it with these guys coming back, Ronbo, and another guy that we're not talking about at all is Zach Kurtz from Carolina. I think he's going to be a great competition for DJ Jones and having the potential to be really good with the D-line. The rotation, that's the best that I love about this team. So it's going to be very fun, Ronbo. But
it is.
That's what I did. But
you
but I have another thing.
What happened? Have you heard anything about Givens? Remember Givens beat somebody up here a couple months ago? And he was...
Right. There's not really anything going on, unfortunately. I think it's like, it might be civil. Hearsay kind of thing. If it was just a fine or whatever it is, or just slap in the wrist, or he's probably like, it's obviously the cases are really pushed back a lot of cases, unfortunately. So he's just waiting it out. Part mid-season or maybe early, he might figure out, or maybe in the summertime, he might figure out what's going on with this case.
Yeah, I was impressed with him last year. When Jones went down, and DJ he needs somebody to rotate with because Jones does tend to get hurt, but Givens was tough. Street, not sure. Right. Contavious Street looked a lot better last year, even got a sack. Wasn't that him that almost killed Kyler Murray? I think they threw a flag on the play.
Kyler Murray.
Was that Kyler?
Yeah,
Come on, ref. He tried to fall to the side. I hate that call.
Right. What are you supposed to do? He's 300 pounds. What are you supposed to do? You can't stop the dude. Kyler Murray's like a mighty mouse running around. Come on, man.
You can't swat a fly slowly. You got to hurry up.
Right. Well, Ronbo, I wanted to, put my 2 cents in this situation with the Julio Jones. I really feel that it's going to potential happen with the 49ers because what the cap situation, what's going on, we have $18 million. Big Show didn't finish and hit his eyes in this and that. With the Trey Lance and Sermon and other guys, rookies that we haven't signed yet, it's going to probably take about $6 million. So that will be about 11 million or 12 million pushing left over. So if we did sign for Sherman, for example, we could go get a Julio. And how that works, and I feel like it's going to happen because we got 2 running backs that we drafted, and Mostert is not happy right now about that. And there's no peep coming out of it. So right now I'm thinking there's a package deal because I was looking at the roster, and I'm surprised that Atlanta fans didn't even bring it up to you. They don't really have a running back other than Mike Jones. What was his name? That used to play with us back in the day, running back. He's over there. That's the only running back they have. They don't have no Todd Gurley. They don't have no Idle Smith. So that's $5 million. So we could go get
You want to give him back?
Mm-hmm.
You want to give him back?
Yeah, I will give him back. Yeah, I'll give Mostert and a second-round pick for Julio because it's a friendly contract. If you think about it, Ronbo, it's 11. The following 2 years is only 11.5 each year. That is a steal for a running back. Galladay is making $19 million. There's a potential of this winning for us. And it's Kyle's guy. And he said it himself. If there's a Julio Jones available, you go get him.
Yeah.
And it's the best opportunity for him right now.
Yeah.
So, and it's quiet. That's his key thing. It's quiet right now. There's no rumors or, just our name. That's it. So, let's wait for that.
Because they're not going. Mike Davis has it. Man, that's not going to be enough.
Mike Davis.
I like your idea. I really do. Somebody else mentioned that the other day about they only had 1 running back, and they haven't drafted one. What are they waiting for June 1st or the cut? That's too late. Good stuff.
And Atlanta don't want D Ford. Yeah. But I was going to say they don't want D Ford.
Nobody wants D. See, we got to go, fam. I'll see you tomorrow.
Oh, of course.
I can't wait for tomorrow's results.
Well, definitely would be fun until June 1st, Ronbo. It's going to be fun. Shout out to you, sir, and the production, TNT. Shout out to the Ronbo fan club and 49ers Empire. And, sir, faithful, hit that like for Ronbo for follow all platforms. And go Niners, baby. Let's go.
Thanks,
Get Julio.
You are the man. Let's see you tomorrow, fam.
You're the man.
G. Yeah. Yeah. That was Drew Brees that Street almost killed. Thanks, Ellis. That's right. I forgot about that. hey, Darius.
What's up, Ronbo? How you doing?
Darius, man, as I said earlier, it's that time of year you can, as a 49er fan or football fan, as intense as we are, I'm feeling great. We should actually embrace this time of year a little more than we do. Starting in September, the high stress goes on September, October, November, December, January, and that's 5 months of Jesus Christ, except for that 2019 year, when every week, Darius, remember it was ooh la la, ooh la 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 la. God, I'll never forget 2019. So here we are now trying to figure out who's going to be what. Jimmy G is one of the guys that's got things to prove this year. Mike McGlinchey, yes, Mike, you have got to improve your pass rushing, if just a little bit. And of course, Javon Kinlaw, I think his task is going to be one of ease. I see him easily getting the pressure off of him. But Darius, looking at these 3 guys, and you can throw anybody else you want in there as far as you thinking having to need to prove something. And also, Grant Cohn, the fun of the day, if the Atlanta Falcons called Grant's house and said, listen, give us Debo and you can have Julio. You serious? Yes, you got it. would you answer that phone call the same way?
All right, I'm gonna talk on the Julio stuff real quick. I've heard a lot of horrible trade offers, like previously. Raheem in a second for Julio Jones. Are you out of your damn mind? That man will not accept that. Raheem in a second? Are you kidding me? Oh God.
What do you have? What's the problem you have with that deal, though?
Huh? Sorry.
What is the problem you have with that deal? I'm curious.
They're just not going to take it. You don't. Julio Jones is one of the best receivers
of all
in
time.
the history of the.
Yeah.
You're not going to take Raheem Mostert.
So you're saying you're going to make a deal, make an honest, the real deal?
Yeah.
You think that's too weak? Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah. And then I heard another caller say Jalen Hurd in a second rounder. Oh my God. They're not going to accept that. You gotta listen. I love Julio Jones. Julio has one of the best hands. His route running, his size, he's underrated speed. He's
He's a unicorn.
He's physical. You throw that ball up anywhere towards him, he's gonna come down with it. And we don't really have that type of guy.
Yeah.
So I'd be lying to you if I said I wouldn't trade Debo for Julio straight up.
Yeah.
I think any person with common sense would do that. Like Julio is just miles better than Debo. And Debo is good at what he does.
True.
But man, Julio is a different animal. He's a different animal. And if he's working on the opposite side of Ayuk, oh my God. You see what him and Calvin do?
Darius, you still need that third guy, though. Who's going to be the third guy? I guess it doesn't matter, right? If you got Julio and anybody else, as long as it's workable.
Yeah, Kittle, Julio, and Ayuk, NFL defense is done for.
Yeah.
I think you have to have a lot of stuff going your way in order to get Julio. I don't even think, I think if you're the Falcons, you don't even try to trade in the NFC. You want to try to go in the AFC, because you don't want to risk playing Julio. But that's just me. If we can get Julio for something reasonable, I wouldn't mind. It's goddamn Julio Jones.
Right, it is. 22 mil. But you know what? 22 mil to go to the Super Bowl, you got to pay it.
Yeah. And for Kinlaw, I heard some people say Kinlaw's a bust. Shut the hell up.
I got too tired of that last year.
50% of the time.
It's going to be a bust.
Like, it doesn't make sense. First of all, D tackles take longer than edge rushers to develop. Everybody knows this. DeForest Buckner, his first year had 6 sacks. His second year he had 3 sacks, and people were already out on him. Calling him a bust. Look at him,
I know,
all
right?
pro.
Yeah.
So give him some time. Like this is his first year, no mini camp, no OTAs, whatever. Yeah. Give him some time. Nick Bosa's gonna come back. Just relax. Relax.
Hey, Joseph Smiley's running around talking trash. Like Joseph Smiley's the first guy I see. We're not fans. Debo's. Javon Kinlaw's a bust. Give him some smack for me, please. All right, go ahead, Darius.
There's a last people talk about busts. Okay, their first round drafts have been horrible. The only team they got going for themselves is that 2012 draft where they got Bobby Wagner and Russell Wilson.
I know, right?
So Mike, I saw Mike got bigger in one the photos. That's pretty good.
I know, right?
Hopefully,
I didn't appreciate him getting big in the midsection, but Mike's a bigger dude now. I mean, you know what? Maybe Darius, for linemen, offensive linemen, maybe having that center of bigness might be a good thing because it makes it tougher to get around them. So maybe Joe Staley maybe have coached them how to eat.
Yeah, I hope that size can equate to an increase in pass blocking success.
I know. See, I'm worried about that too. I hope his speed's not affected.
Yeah, because 2018, 2019, he was cool. Last year I don't know what happened to him. I think like everybody said, he got smaller. He just started eating less, and he got put on his ass.
He was hanging around with Staley. Staley, I'm not sure if Staley adopted a vegan diet or vegetarian diet. But, him and Staley, Mike loves Joe. So whatever Staley does, he's going to do it. And I blame Joe. Joe said, Mike, look, you're a football player. You're still active. Keep eating, man. Don't do this. Just eat and lift. I mean, so we'll see.
And then the other person you talking about was Jimmy. Man, I'm not worried about Jimmy. Jimmy, what is this? His fourth year into the system, I think, something like that.
Well, yeah, well,
right?
he got 2017. He didn't get much there, but 2018 he started learning. 2019 he went to the Super Bowl. Although everybody says Jimmy had nothing to do with it, but that called BS on that. You can't be on the field for 13, 14, 15 weeks and not have anything to do with anything. So, third year. Again, that's 2018, 17, 18, 19. No, the first year, yeah, the torn ACL, 18, 19 Super Bowl, 20. So he's had, actually, you can look at Jimmy, this is going to be his second year under the system, basically.
You think so? Because honestly, listen, I get what you're trying to say here. You know, he played, one full season. But I'm gonna say he's been under the system he's learned the playbook now. It's like the back of his hand, right? So he shouldn't have any problem with the playbook, unlike, maybe 2019. So I think he's got the playbook down.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing with him is injury, man. I think he's good, and he makes the throws when he needs to make the throws, except for that one throw he missed in the biggest of, moments.
I know.
Right? When every child dreams, they go and play in their backyard, they
that
in the
Super Bowl toss.
Final ball, he missed that throw, but every other throw he, and I think Jimmy's gonna do fine. I have Jimmy is the least of my worries. I got my worries are, how's that right side of the offensive line gonna look out? My worries are, how's our defense gonna look with D'Amico? My worries are, is our team gonna stay healthy? I'm not worried about Jimmy.
I was thinking about D Ford the whole time you were talking. And is D Ford going to play this year? Can he please play D?
Yeah.
So
Other than that, I'm not stressing much about this year. All I know is if our guys stay healthy, goddamn, we're in the Super Bowl. That's all I know.
Yeah, because
that's with Julio or without Julio.
Really, we're not. Julio makes it easier. Put it that way.
Right.
But without Julio, we'll still get there. Because as I said, now I've got two solid, seasoned wide receivers. That's all I've asked for the last 3 years. So I got a feeling that is going to make a huge difference. The run game is going to be fine. It was always going to be fine. Kyle went overboard with the run game. We've got more running backs now that can kick ass than we've ever had before. Quality. Almost every last one of them.
And I'm looking to see some more play action this year, too. Because, man, Jimmy underplayed one of the best quarterbacks in the National Football League. I'm hoping Kyle can, once you do that play action, I think once Kyle's comfortable calling play action, we're in a situation. We're in a situation. That's what happened. That's what it was in 2019.
That's it. Popping on all cylinders. And now the defense is at a disadvantage because between play action and those pre-snap movements, the defense is confused. Now you're running out of play action, you're passing out of play action, nobody knows what's going to happen. Now you got receivers running wide open suddenly. Kyle's timing was amazing that year. So, you got to get back to that. That's the bottom line. See, so.
Yeah, and I think the only reason why he wasn't doing all that was because of the guys that were out there. I don't think you're gonna do that with the centers we had, the quarterbacks and the receivers had. I don't think again, if guys are healthy, we're in the whole thing.
So terrible. So we just got to stay whole this year. Darius, good to talk to you, fam. I'll be looking for you tomorrow.
All right. Are you going tomorrow? All right.
Oh, yeah. We got the guys going to be, the reporters are allowed into camp tomorrow to tell us what they saw and observed during camp. And Grant's right about one thing. Well, Grant's right about a lot of things, but Grant said, well, probably, what they do is they make sure that whoever's out there, because he said Trey Lance, he did exactly what he needed to do to look good in front of us. Grant is becoming my hero. He'll say the damnedest things. But you know what, something, Darius? He's actually right. They're not going to have anybody out there looking bad in front of the press because the press is going to go report it, and it's going to be nasty. They don't want to put up with that. And Kyle goes to the press conferences. So, Kyle, we saw several plays today. Are you going to run those plays during the season? I'm Kyle. Okay. Let's let me refer back to you on that. Let's get to the next question. Shanahan gets pissed off. You notice
Yeah.
you can tell when Kyle gets pissed. I always love it.
Gets agitated.
He'll either give a sharp, nasty response to the question, but he'll keep smiling and go on, or is it nah, just kidding? But he'll already got the dig in, and then he'll answer the question to whatever he wants to. So we're gonna see tomorrow, though, Darius. What happens?
All right, you have a great rest of your night, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Darius. See you tomorrow. Have a good night. Yeah, I'm serious. If anybody ever thought there was a rift going on between Grant and Conan, there never has been. Grant scares me because the fact for a long time, I saw the reaction he was getting. Everybody get, Ron, Ronbo, get Grant on the show. Grant and I were going to get together last year. I said, but Grant, we're having a bad season. And Grant was not helping anything. Grant, you know I love you, man. Grant wasn't helping anything by saying the things he was saying. He was making people more angry, more agitated. So I don't want to bring that kind of heat to this program. I was actually scared because, but now Grant's become the truth. Most of the time, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So, let's see what happens next year. And we'll bring it back. I got to get Grant to agree. Grant, do you mind if people call in and ask you questions? I'm sure he'll be fine with that. Yeah, we'll see. Hey, have a great night. It's pizza time. I don't care what time it is. Oh, boy, that was a belch. It all depends on what kind of vino you like. Going back to Houston. Oh, Houston. Fam, I'll see you tomorrow. Can't wait for this report. I know!